ready. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, MJ.
Hey, MJ.
Hi, FarQ.
And Bar.
And of
PJ
course,
must be getting ice cream. Oh, sweet.
And StreamYard.
A little swoop. A little StreamYard.
StreamYard, my little sexy thing there.
My little ducky.
I don't know where PJ's at.
She's avoiding us.
She may not show up.
Yeah, well, I did a little bit of research last night and got like some crazy missing person cases, but a few.
Good.
There's lots out there though, but then you get into them and then you start realizing that, like, I don't know, there's no times and things like that, you know? Like, so there's so many out there. Like, I got it from the Exploiting Missing Persons, or is it missing? Oh man, my brain's not working.
So
yeah, it was a little.
Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, I don't know. I've lost track of what I was talking about. See, I told you I'm squirrely today. Squirrel.
Penny. I see a penny.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know what's going on with me.
I don't know, but StreamYard's been acting up. YouTube's been acting up.
Did you manage to get your chat turned back on?
My chat turned back on?
You are a squirrel.
We
don't have squirrels here, MJ, but I saw a squirrel. Doxy, I never change my clock anyway. I have my inside time and outside time. It's funny far because like I'm the same, like, and if my clock runs out of batteries, I just don't change them.
What?
What?
Seriously?
I don't.
So
yeah.
No,
but you've always got your phone. You've always got your phone. Like that changes automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about that.
I don't have clocks in my house anyway. But I just
I'm not a big clock person. Yeah, but I've had a clock on my wall that hasn't had batteries in it for about 4 years. I just forget it's there. Yeah.
I used to. Do you guys ever, like, for your alarms and stuff, do you ever set your clock forward like 10, 15 minutes? I always set my clock 10 or 15 minutes ahead and then set my alarms.
My car's always like 5 minutes fast because like I'm always running late dropping Stan off at school and stuff. So it's like, you know. But then you always allow for that 5 minutes. Hey, Wilma.
I don't. Hi, Wilma. I don't. I'm always like, oh, crap. The alarm's going off. I just want to sleep some more. And then I'll get out the door and I'll be like, oh, yeah, I could have slept 15 minutes more.
I always remember that. You don't use an alarm? Oh, you have to when you've got kids,
lucky.
Unfortunately.
You're lucky.
Yeah, when I got kids. I got to set 3 alarms in the morning, otherwise I'll sleep through probably. And sometimes I do sleep through all 3. But yeah. I've got to sleep one to wake me up, one to remind me to wake up, and then one to actually get up. It's bad. It's bad.
PJ may not show up, guys. So you may not be able to ask her anything. Yeah, I hate it. When my kids were in school, oh my God, I hated it because they had to be up at the bus. They had to get up at 5:30 and be up at the bus by 6:45. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
And it was like,
how's your holiday been? Sorry, yeah. Oh, I don't. Well, your kids start a lot earlier. Like Stan starts at 8:30, and then 8:25.
Yeah, they start at 8:15.
But yeah, if they get on the bus a lot of the time, like I used to have to be on the bus at like 7:30 in the morning or something. So I'd have to start walking at like 7 to get to the bus stop. was okay, then you got sick. Oh, I hope you didn't get COVID. Change of the seasons. It sucks, man. Oh, you got the dreaded flu bug? Oh,
yuck.
Oh, Richard. Oh, that's horrible. You poor thing. It always happens like that, eh? It's like, why can't you get sick when you got work? And then, I know. Hopefully you're on. Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
Guys,
or did you just get it recently?
Sorry, you guys in the United States, start stocking up on stuff now. Start getting your toilet paper and your essentials now, because they're planning on that. Oh shit, what's it called?
Oh, the strike at the port.
Yeah, the port strikes. So
yeah. Won't you be like a little bit short with after that hurricane and that as well? Like,
oh yeah, it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be horrible. And
yeah,
this is all planned, you guys. It's all been planned because, you know, they're waiting for that big October surprise. Sent him over from Japan. Well, actually, I would, but I'm in Tibet. I'm in Tibet now. Tibet,
and she's got to use mules to get it everywhere, and it's too much trouble to use the mules.
Use the mules,
you know, the
down here,
the donkey mule,
use the Wi-Fi.
Not drug mules, donkey mules.
Yeah, not drug mules. Hell no.
Jim's got a bad upper and lower respiratory infection. Give her some of your advice. Oh, that's bad. You need to just get antibiotics and just try and get on top of it. We got that too, Jim, and like we were so sick.
Go get some thyme, the herb thyme, and some garlic and some black tea and some honey, and make a tea out of it. It's not going to taste very good, but
disgusting.
It works.
Yeah, I actually bought, when Sway had COVID, I bought her some thyme capsules. It was like dried thyme in a capsule form. And that really helps with the your chest. You got antibiotics and puffers. Yeah, I did too, and I got steroids as well. Me and Stan were so sick. Like, I don't think I've ever been that sick. What was it again? Thyme, honey,
garlic,
and
black tea. Yeah, you don't have to use the black tea, but it tastes nasty. But let me tell you, that stuff works right away.
Yeah, prayers for all in the hurricane. There have been towns. Yeah. Apparently, there's another 2 coming. There's like a wave of them. I heard.
You guys, they're messing with the weather.
Oh, Jim, that sucks. It makes you so tired, doesn't it? With the chest infection, like, yeah. Ours started as sinus, and then it goes down into your chest, and then like it's just horrible. Just plug your nose while drinking it. Yeah, I reckon.
My kids.
That's if you're really desperate. But even just thyme, like a thyme infusion would probably work. Like, because thyme seems to like warm your chest up, right? Like it does something like that.
Yeah, but if you're coughing, the honey will calm down the coughing, and the garlic will, it's like an antibiotic.
Yeah, the garlic.
Yeah, Isaac and Joyce.
Oh, your housemate got it too? Oh. Okay, just plug. Isaac and Joyce is the new storms. Do you think they're going to be as bad as the last one, or are they just like the tail end of like what? Does that first original storm cause these other ones to come? I don't know how because your weather system's a lot different from ours. Like we don't even have hurricanes; we have like cyclones. So, I don't know what the difference is really, but cyclones are more tropical. I think
Isaac and Joyce just started. They just named them.
Oh. They might like miss you guys or peter out though, right? Like they don't know which direction they're gonna go.
Jim, if you lost your taste, you probably got COVID.
Yeah, it sounds like it, Jim. That's what we thought we had. Like, but I had old tests and we tested negative, and I was like, well, there's no point. Like, what even if we test positive, what's different? What's the difference going to be? Like, you're still going to be sick. Like, and they still say, oh, well, it's only a virus. We can't really do anything for that. But once it turns into a secondary infection, you've got to get on those antibiotics and. Yeah, steroids. I got inhalers, I got steroids. Like, we were pretty crook. It was bad. Me and my son both got it.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah. We had
The second wave of COVID is a lot more vicious, it seems, I think.
Yeah. Well, the first one for me was horrible. Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, the first one for me,
horrible.
I was dizzy with a temperature. I didn't really get like. Oh yeah, I think I've had it a couple of times actually, but yeah, I think it's always different
now. Yep.
Yeah, I think I've had it 3 times, and yeah, like it hits you differently every time. I still can't. You still can't taste or smell fire? Yeah, you tested negative too, fire?
Some people can't. Some people still from the very first time.
Well, I tested positive. My son tested negative, so I sent him off to his dad's house because I was crook. And then he rings me up and he goes, "What? Who tested positive? What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Well, like I didn't botch the test. Like it's just is what it is. You can't, like what can I do?" And he didn't have any symptoms and he tested positive. It was just crazy. So, yeah. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed with this last one that it was different from the other times. This is the first time I have never been able. I'm just trying to think what helps with that.
What?
I don't know. Oh, just your taste and your smell?
Nothing.
I don't.
You just have to
No.
let it run its course.
Yeah, I'll get some eucalyptus oil. I'm sure you got plenty of that over in Australia. Get some eucalyptus oil. Do some inhalations or put it on your pillow or
throw back some Jack.
Yeah. Oh, it's just miserable.
No, I don't
isn't
recommend
it?
throwing back Jack. Nope.
Especially trying to shake that cough. Like it seems to, like even after the antibiotics and that, it lingers.
Oh, I got vertigo real bad after I had pneumonia. Ugh.
Oh, I got vertigo with COVID, and I was walking into door frames, and I was like really spinning. You know when you spin if you've drunk too much alcohol and you go to lie down and you start spinning? That's how I was with COVID. Yep. It was horrible. Like the room was spinning, and then I would actually spew because it was
actually
it would make you feel so
I started
sick.
getting vertigo about 4 months ago again for some reason, and then yeah, anytime I would turn on my left side, laying down, the room would start spinning real bad, and then if I got up to go to the bathroom or anything, it'd start spinning, and I'd have to hurry up and sit down. And
yeah,
as soon as I stopped,
yeah, I know it's horrible.
It went away.
Yeah, that is the worst. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, just this live was supposed to be ask Doxy and PJ anything you like, and PJ's not here. And I mean, you can ask me anything, but you probably know everything about me anyway, because I'm a big mouth. I'll tell you anything anyway. So we've got a few missing people cases that I did a bit of research on. We were just gonna do a bit of astrology maybe on those.
Yeah. I have no idea where PJ went. How old are you, Doxy?
Well, I forgot. I'm either 44 or 45. I can't remember. But
she was born in 79. So she's 45.
45. I've got no filter. I've got no filter.
How old am I? 21. I never tell a lie. I'm 50.
She's always 21.
I just turned 50.
Have I ever looked at the William Tyrrell case?
Yes, I did.
Actually, that name. We did William Tyrrell?
I don't know.
That name sounds really familiar.
I don't know if we did it. I'm trying to think. Did we do it over there? I know I looked at it on my own. I don't know if I did it over here, but we can look. Wait, let me go back to my.
That's a lie, 21. She always says that, MJ.
I wouldn't lie about something like that, MJ. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that William Tyrrell sounds really familiar, like the name. But because we've lost a lot of the old live streams that we did on the astrology,
No.
Oh.
We didn't lose them. We didn't lose them.
Oh.
That's a misnomer. That's a misnomer. We didn't lose them.
Oh, well, okay.
We weren't. I wasn't allowed to take them.
Okay.
Let's get that straight. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not your property once they're on someone else's channel, obviously. I was watching something the other day about him, and I thought of it. Oh, I can't even. I can't remember the details. As soon as someone like,
he's a little boy that went missing in Australia, and he was wearing that Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man outfit.
Oh, yeah, missing since 2014, Australia boy. Okay.
We can do that one. We can look at it again if somebody can get me the time and date. Because I know there was a
if you've got the
discrepancy.
details. It's always good if like the chat's interactive with what we're doing, you know, like I'd rather that. Yeah, that's him. MJ. Yeah, he vanished from his foster grandma's. Oh. Yeah, that name sounds really familiar. From grandmother's house.
Yep.
Okay. We could do that. I picked up a couple of quite well known sort of cases, but after I wrote all the details and everything down, then I got to the end of the missing persons thing, and it's sort of like, well, they're kind of self-explanatory. You kind of know who's responsible, but I don't know whether to give them to Sway in like just the times and dates, or to give you a backstory, or you know, like how would you prefer it?
If it's one that's out in the news a lot, or ones that you think that I've already heard, just probably the date and time.
Yeah, some of them are quite old though, you know, they're like you know, sort of maybe 10, 15 years old, some but I mean, there's so many missing persons cases out there. I like the mysterious ones, you know, where like that they have like their, you know, their last video message or whatever, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and like,
did she put
you kind of
June
know who. 26th of June, 2011. What state was that?
Sydney, wasn't it? No, it was in.
I can't remember.
Newport.
We do so many of these that it's sort of like they all sort of merge into one after a little while. All the times and dates and states and.
I'm going to have to break down and buy space, you guys. I've already gone through 225 charts.
Thanks, MJ. Look at MJ. She's sleuthing it over there. Kendall, North South Wales. So that's New South Wales. So 2014. Oh, Jim's saying 2014.
MJ, are you giving us the wrong info?
All right, someone confirm that, please.
Price check on aisle 1. Price check on aisle 1.
Check. Sydney time. Yep, New South Wales. Thank you. Yeah, it was 2014. Okay. MJ's trying to beat everyone to it, sleuthing it over there.
I think she's just wanting to, you know, love bomb us. Let's see.
Yeah, where's all the darlings and sweethearts and honey buns and everything today, okay? He went missing in 2014. His birthday is 2011. Oh, okay, MJ. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to change all the date then. Hold on.
No. Oh, well, he went missing 2014. His birthday's in 2011. 12th of September. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I just burped. That was really... I didn't mean to. Sorry, everyone, if I burped in your ear. Excuse me. Okay, 12th of September. Okay, yeah, so the dates are wrong because that was his birthday.
Kendall.
Okay, I'm guessing. And so he was at his foster grandmother's house.
Wait. What's the date?
It is 12th of September, 2014.
Ooh, we just passed the 10-year mark. And what time?
Yeah. In the morning, Jim said. So was he missing when they woke up, or
no?
$1 million reward?
He was outside with them.
I don't remember the backstory. What, he just disappeared? Foster mother called in at... I just want to see what it says about foster mum. There's something going on there. Oh, okay. Get ya. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I found with these missing kids cases. There seems to be a bit of a theme, and it's generally like the custodial. A lot of the times, it's whoever's the custodial guardian. Like,
this says he went missing between 10 and 12, or 10 and 10:25 a.m. But this other one says he went missing at around 10:30.
Oh, 10 and 20, 10 and... What if you'd put it for 10:15 or something, like in the middle? I just want to see what it says about Foster. Off the veranda, he was playing with his sister. Okay. Wow. He is presumed deceased. Okay, so he's just going on the 10-year mark. He's been gone between 10 a.m. and 10:25. They say was when he vanished. Thanks, guys. You're so helpful today.
I have a feeling they're gonna love bomb us in about 2 seconds.
He was playing at Daddy Tiger. He walked around the side of the house and vanished. Oh my gosh, that's so creepy. Well, kids just don't just vanish. I mean, like, they do, but they don't, you know? It's awesome. Thanks, guys. If you've got any other cases you want, Jim or anyone that's interested in, I'm always watching sort of mysterious disappearances and stuff. Like, I quite like those sort of cases. Because you wonder...
This time doesn't... Something's not...
10 a.m. and 10:25, between 10 a.m. and 10:25.
I'm going to try 10:30.
There are 3 things that could have happened. A dingo? A dingo got him? No.
A dingo? No.
Sorry. That was a poor joke. That was mean. That was a bad joke. Well, it wasn't really a joke, but I mean, it could... I was thinking a wild animal.
No, like, they were at their house. They were at his grandma's house, or
I know, but like, it could have been a rogue dingo. We just had a $1 million case solved here after 47 years. I know, it's like, you know, the Somerton man, they just figured out who he was. Like, and remember he was found on the beach dead, and like they couldn't figure out who he was, and it was a big mystery.
Okay, so
I think they finally
I'm
did
gonna
like
go
DNA.
With the 30 time, but I don't know that this is... Something's not sitting right with this one for me. Let me see.
Oh, you thought he maybe fell off the second story, and what's not sitting right? The time? Or...
Yeah, something's not sitting right because it's putting the ruler of his ascendant sign in the 9th house. And the only thing I could think of on that is that because the house that he was at was near a highway or near a busy road, I believe. Let me look at something here.
Well, maybe they've given a fake time, like Far says, she thought he might have fallen off the second story. And so if the mother's given a fake time, like, you know, because she's hidden him, so he maybe...
No.
Was it neglect? Yeah, that's an old one, Far. That case, that's a really old one that they solved. MJ, it is. He was 17 when he unalived 2 women and then fled to Greece. Oh, the one that just got solved? Wow. Yeah, it's amazing what they're solving now.
Okay, so on this...
Yeah.
So on this one, it has the ascendant at 17 degrees, which is Leo. And I guess that could be because Leo would be a child and a male, so a male child. And Sagittarius. Sagittarius may be because he was wearing that Spider-Man outfit, adventurous. So that would put his ruler at as Jupiter, and Jupiter sits in the 9th house at 12 degrees. 12 degrees is Pisces. Now that just could be because it was unknown. I mean, where he's at is unknown, but does anybody know, was that Spider-Man outfit, was that a pajama? Was that night clothes, like pajamas? Does anybody know? Because that could be nighttime, like, because he had those pajamas on.
Yeah. I would say probably because, I don't know, kids always wear Spider-Man pajamas for some reason. But you don't really see them in like a Spider-Man outfit like during the day. 3-year-old, yes, it's just crazy. Yes, pajamas. 3 years old. Yep.
Okay.
So they wear pajamas. Yep.
Does anybody know if that house was near a major highway there? Because I don't understand why he would be in a 9th house. Unless he was on the highway.
Yeah. Far said she thinks they were pajamas too. Does anyone know if they were on a... I take that back. Not sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure kids' pajamas are always Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. It just seems like I remember my son, and he wouldn't wear like Spider-Man outfits during the day, but you know, they always wear like those sort of action figure pajamas. So does anyone know if they're in the country or the city, or say his costume? Oh, he was wearing a costume. Or sometimes kids just wear those things, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jim's is a costume.
Okay, so it's putting it... Well...
Oh, they're in the country.
It looks like...
Far says it's very country.
So there wouldn't have been like a major road or a highway out there?
Well, not like a...
No, not like an interstate or anything like that, but just like a main... How do I want to put it? A bigger street.
Yeah.
A bigger...
I mean, you always have those streets leading to places, but then in the country it sort of goes off into, you know, lonely roads and stuff. I'm not sure. Are you sure you've got the dates and everything right?
September 12th, 2014. Kendall, Australia, 10:30 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
The only other thing I could think of is that at that particular point at 10:30 a.m., he was already on a highway. He was already moving.
Getting transported.
It almost seems like this could be trafficking.
So maybe like, because that was the time the mother called in, right? So maybe...
Well, it's interesting because the house of the perpetrator, the ascendant of the perpetrator, of course, is at 17 degrees, which is Leo, again, which would be a male, probably, more likely, in the sign of Gemini. So this could be 2 people, or it could be that they were in a car. It also could be a step, like a step parent or a step. It also could be neighbor. And the ruler of the perpetrator, which would be Mercury, sits in the 11th house. So this is somebody that William knew, somebody that he thought of as friendly. So this is somebody that in that 13 degrees, which is Aries, it's somebody with red hair or a scar on their face. I want to look at something because I thought there was something about the neighbor.
Far said, I think it was a dead-end street. Grandma lived. There was a stream or river nearby. And MJ said in 2023 they recommended foster mum gets charged.
Didn't they suspect a neighbor at one time though?
I shouldn't do this voice text. Oh, does anyone know if the neighbor was a suspect? If they. Oh, Far just sent me some stuff on him. 10 years. Thanks, Far. I don't do voice to text. It changes all my words because I'm a Kiwi, obviously. Like I don't pronounce things properly for voice to text. It makes up shit.
Oh, it didn't even come up. Hold on. Why is that doing that again? What did we find out last time? That it was something to do with the layout?
What's it doing?
It's not sharing.
Oh, it won't put it up? Yeah, you had to change the avatars again, I think. Right, you had to make them standard. It wouldn't do it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's weird why it won't do that, right? That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's obviously because it just doesn't work with the layout or something.
I don't know, guys. It didn't make sense to me when I first opened this up. Because this is somebody.
You're at work, Jim? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that. I thought you were homesick.
This could be adopted parent, I guess, in 11th house, because that's adoptions. So I guess it could.
And it's a foster parent.
And if that's the case, is the foster mother, is that she red hair? It's somebody with
Does
red
anyone
hair.
know? Yeah. Does anyone know anything about the foster mum? I can't. I will look at that what you sent me Far when it'll throw me off StreamYard if I watch that now. I think my theory is accident and she freaked. Maybe bio mother. So if okay.
I could have sworn they said that they thought they saw the neighbor driving off with him in the car.
Foster mum had auburn hair.
Or the neighbor said they saw him. Let's see.
And why were they in foster care?
And the sign of Libra, somebody married. Venus. House.
MJ's waiting for
what
Uranus.
it was married. And it's in the 10th house. So it's somebody that is acquainted with the police. Somebody of authority in the 10th house. So
I can hear your little dogs today. Sorry.
Oh, those ain't my dogs.
Oh, they're not yours?
No, that's George.
It's Tim. Tim's
no, that's George.
Is Pullman. Oh, I don't have any dogs. It's my sushi.
It's Dillweed's dog.
Oh, Mum and Dad had drug problems. I think the reason they're in foster care. Okay, so the mum and dad had drug problems in foster care as both parents had problems. Okay, thanks, guys. Sorry,
I
Jim.
don't
I
like
hope we're not going to get you in
this
trouble
chart's
here.
not. This chart's not.
It's not making sense.
None of what they're trying to tell us is in this chart.
Okay, so do you think that it sounds like the foster mum's given a whole different time and like
No,
she's lied?
I don't think it has anything to do with the people reporting it. I think this has to do with the fact that because his co-ruler of the chart is in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Saturn's in the 12th house. So that means they basically that he's already passed away, of course. But then you've got Pluto sitting there in the second house, which means, to me, this means he was trafficked. This kid was trafficked. There's no way that this kid was. No. Nope. He was on the move at 10:30 that day. He was already moving. He was already gone.
On a major highway or something.
Yeah, I do not believe he disappeared that day. I think he was already. I think by the time they reported him, he was already gone. He was already off to wherever they were going to take him to.
Yeah. They don't give much information in Australia about crimes. Yeah, they don't. They don't. It's just they don't want to. But you think the foster mum would have to like have proof of life or something, you know? Like, but I mean, that is obviously when she called the authorities. So she's lying, and you know, maybe it happened the day before, the night before. It's still weird, isn't it?
In the 12th house, they have Mars there. Mars is his 5th house. So he was playing. So his 5th house, so that would be his house of fun. And the ruler of his house of fun is sitting in the 12th house, and that's Mars. So
was he somewhere else before he was at Grandma's farm? Like, is there a bit more story to that? Because it was a spur of the moment trip to go to Grandma's. Okay, so it was the foster mother's mother, right? Okay, I get it now. If I'd looked into the case like before now, I would know more. They were seen on CCTV at a McDonald's near Newcastle at 6 in the morning. On the same day, Jim? Oh.
yeah, because Pluto rules the 12th house. That's sex. And the ruler is Pluto in the 2nd house. That's his 2nd house. So this kid was trafficked. He did not disappear on the day they say he disappeared.
Why would foster parents, like, you know, voluntarily foster a child to do that? That just doesn't make sense, right?
Well, it doesn't.
Jim said, why were they were seen on CCTV at McDonald's near Newcastle at 6 in the morning? Why were they at McDonald's at 6 in the morning? That's crazy. That doesn't seem right.
That would explain Mars in this. Mars, because the 5th house ruled by Mars, that's eating out or at a restaurant. But that goes to the 12th house, which is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is something nefarious or sex related, something to. So I'm wondering if they even
Oh, okay. She was taken to court for abusing his sister. So the foster mum was taken to court for abusing his sister? Oh my gosh, I need to look into this. I'll have a look at it when I get off here, Far.
Yeah,
She
this
was
doesn't make
okay.
sense.
So, if you change the time to 6 a.m. because they were actually seen on CCTV, then would that change anything?
Yeah, let's try. Because this doesn't make sense.
6 a.m. is not unusual. It would be for me. You'd never catch me at a McDonald's.
Because I know
at 6 a.m.
when I watched the thing about it. Well, if they were traveling or something, they may have.
Wow, Jeb, this is interesting. Cops put bugs in the house and heard the abuse coming from. You wonder why do foster parents just take on the child for the money? Is that why they do it? And
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's what it is.
It's been a while since I looked at William's case. Yep, his sister after he went missing. Oh wow, that's sad. Okay, so if they're abusing his sister, I mean, like, that's a big red flag. Wow. Well, have a look at the 6 a.m. time, because if they were actually seen on CCTV then, that was kind of like their last actually known sighting, really, wasn't it? So maybe. Sounds like they were lying about that time. There's a yodel.
Actually, there's 2 yods. 2 yods.
What does a yod mean again?
Finger of fate.
Finger of fate. Oh shit.
God's finger of fate. So
God's finger of fate.
One's with the wounded Chiron, the wounded healer, and Jupiter and Mercury. Mercury's in his first house, Jupiter's in his 11th house, and Chiron's in his 6th house. So this said something to, this kid was trafficked.
Oh, you're still coming up with the same sort of thing?
Yeah, this kid was trafficked.
Does it make more sense with that time, though? Does the chart make a little bit more sense, do you think?
It's still putting the perpetrator in the 11th house. So it has to be somebody that he knew. But in this case, it's putting the sign of Jupiter there in the 12th house, or at the 12th degree. So this has to be somebody that more than likely
Yeah, I do too.
This is somebody that is a foreigner.
Or MJ.
Sorry, somebody not. This was somebody that was friendly, but somebody that was a foreigner. So somebody that wasn't either from Australia. Yeah, this kid was sold for money. This kid was sold.
Oh my god. Oh no. And what do they sell kids for in Australia? Like, who wants to buy a child? What for? Like, not really anything good, because you can't. It's like you can't take them in public or do anything with them because they're missing. My gut feeling is mum effed up.
Well, this is a drug dealer. This has to be something with drugs, because the perpetrator's first house ascendant is in Pisces, and that's drugs usually. And the sign, and Jupiter's the ruler, one of the rulers, and it's in the 11th house, conjunct the 12th house, means they're not up to anything good. And then Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, in the 6th house, means that this is somebody that was selling them something every day. So she owed, whoever this was that had the child at the time, owed money. She owed money.
She owed money, and she gave them the child and for payment?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, he'll still be in Australia, Far. You can't really get them out of Australia unless they're on a boat or something, I guess. But what are you going to do with the 3-year-old? Oh, I don't want to think about that, MJ. The foster mum is everyone's theory, I think.
What it looks like to me was this was something that, like, kind of like the Summer Wells case, where I think they took him as a blackmail. It was more to blackmail her to get her to pay the money. Like, give me your kid, get the money, and I'll give you your kid back type situation.
Okay. Okay.
And it went south.
Okay. Because MJ's saying that she thinks the bio mum traded child for drugs, but if the bio mum didn't have custody of him, I don't. Unless she stole him, like, or someone stole it. Oh, I don't know. That's confusing. That's getting a little bit too, like, there's heaps of missing kids. Doc said we just don't know about them. I know, Jim, and when I was, like, looking through unsolved missing persons cases last night, I was just, like, bombarded with just case after case after case. And a lot of the times it's the parents.
I don't think this had anything to do with the bio mom, because the moon, which is be the mother, is sitting in the 7th house. It'd be the first house of the perpetrator, but it's conjunct the 8th house. I mean, maybe, but highly unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, if the bio mum didn't have custody of them, so many just in my state alone. Yeah, no, MJ, it's crazy. And then you see the internet spend 7 months on one missing child, like the whole internet, almost the whole true crime community. What have you seen? Bio mum and dad, I think, were ruled out. Okay.
The moon's, there was only one aspect to the moon that day. So it was getting ready, and it's not even it's actually what they call a void of course moon. So in a chart with a void of course means there's no ending. So there's never going to be an ending to him finding him.
So he's never going to be found.
He's never going to be found.
No. And I mean,
which almost makes me think that he could still be alive then.
Okay.
Because if there's nothing to find, then maybe he's still alive.
With that different time, is like, it doesn't show you that it's been 10 years, so he'll be 14 now.
Yeah, and just imagine though, if you don't know that you were kidnapped and you're walking around and shit. I mean,
yeah,
God only knows how many adults walk around and don't know if they're actually, stolen or not.
Yeah, I know. Kids can be brainwashed at that age too. Like, they would to forget things, and so he'd be 13 now. Tim said, check your phone. Thanks, Redux. If he was 3, he wouldn't know who he was. Yeah. And he'd already changed homes once. So, like, his guardians had changed already in that small time. So, I like Tim's little reaction clips. I see Far over there fangirling. Oh, Redux reacts. Oh, that's sweet, Far. I'm gonna love bomb you now. Just kidding.
Yeah, I really don't. With the void of course like that, I really don't think that. So that means that at 6 o'clock that morning, There was no aspects to Moon, which means there was no aspects to his mother, his birth mother. So she didn't have anything to do with this. So then there's no aspects to the Moon at all. So I would take that as no aspects to a foster mom and no aspects to the grandmother, because that's all the Moon represents mothers in general.
Yeah.
So I would say that this had nothing to do with. So it just makes you wonder if he ran, maybe he did run from their house, or I don't know. This, like I said, this chart really doesn't make sense to me, to be honest, because it's not. There's really nothing that says that they were even at that lady's house. So who could have dropped him off or had access to him if he wasn't with the foster parent, the foster mom?
The dad had to drive to town for phone signal during the time he went missing. Okay, so they didn't even have phone signal out there. Oh, wow. Okay. Dad had a work meeting on the phone. Dad, okay.
So
Okay, so right.
So the sun is sitting on the ascendant sign, and the sun represents dad in the 12th house, ruled by the 12th house, and the dad sitting on the ascendant side. So William didn't see a dad or a dad figure at that time. Ugh. So was the foster dad even there? Oh, he had to go get a phone, or
he had a work meeting in town, so he had to drive into town to get the phone signal. So they must have been really quite rural out there, like to not have any, satellite or phone coverage or whatever. I mean, it was obviously 10 years ago, but by a dad. I wonder if these foster parents, if they were abusive, do you think the foster parents had any drug problems or drug connections or anything?
Somebody had drugs. Because Pisces is the ruler of the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sun. The sun has no connection to Pisces whatsoever. The moon has no connections to Pisces. Who has the connections? Mars and
The bio parents had a drug problem, yeah. I just wonder if the foster parents had a secret, like, I don't know. Maybe
so there's no connection at all. There's no connections at all for the parents, foster or bio, or the grandparents, to the Pisces ascendant for the perpetrator. So whoever this is, the perpetrator is
MJ, sorry.
See, this doesn't even make sense.
So something's not right. Like something in their story or something in their timeline isn't right, or
whoever the perpetrator
is
has no connection. There's no connection at all to this family.
Oh, that's random. So it was like some random weirdo out in the outback, like.
Well, he could have walked off, because they did say that they went inside or something. Wasn't it that they went inside, and when they came back out, he was gone?
He was gone, yeah, like just gone. And Jim said none of it makes sense, just none of it, like none of. And Fire agrees, yep, none of it made sense. Cops walked all over the crime scene. Oh, okay.
The missing boy's foster parents have been convicted of intimidation of another child and sentenced to
the
12
sister.
months good behavior. The boy's foster parents. Now, maybe they have no connections, as in they're not related, but no, that doesn't even make sense either. I don't know. This story doesn't. The chart's not even. It doesn't even add up in this chart for me at all.
It's not very often
like,
that
there's
happens.
No clear.
A good cop was taken to court because of all of this.
Not wanting me to read it. It's just I can't read it. Now there is Pluto in the 4th house of this chart. I'm still sticking with the fact that he was trafficked. Somebody, like, they took off with him. Somebody took off with him.
Jim's saying that a good cop was taken to court and he quit the police force over it. Like, was this some kind of like Gary Jublin? Was
I remember
it some kind of corruption or something? Jim, I remember that now. How does foster care work in Australia? I guess it's the same as most places. I'm not sure. That's really weird that a cop. I wonder why the cop was taken to court over it. Like, and he quit. Like, that's odd. How does a foster care? I really need to see the case for myself. Like this, I can't stand it when I don't know like any details. He taped a conversation with the person who he suspected. Oh, right, Jim, I got you. Okay, and so, okay, It sounds like it is a very odd case. Be involved to cover his ass.
I know that cop, that Gary, I think he was being accused there for a while, wasn't he?
Oh, so they accused the cop? Or was that because he walked over the crime? Oh, no, he taped a conversation.
He got accused of something. I remember that.
Being involved to cover his ass. Basically the same as rest of the world, I think. I don't know about the cop.
Yeah, and the police charged him. That's what I thought. I thought at one time that they had accused that cop.
It sounds like they're trying to pass the buck a little bit, like when the police charge one of their own. Like,
well, but you got to understand, he was like obsessed with this case. Like he was overly.
Oh, okay.
With this case.
Okay, right. Okay.
So he was not that he was involved, I don't think, but he was just
he was just unhealthily obsessed. Totally insane. Yeah, he taped the conversation to cover his butt and they charged him. Oh, I'm sticking with my thoughts until they show me otherwise. Yeah. Oh, wow. No wonder. Yeah, these sort of cases, they really get into, like.
This is why people
they haunt people.
Really, yeah, but this is why people really should not get involved in a lot of this stuff, because like the insanity that pursues, just like the Summer Wells case.
Oh, yeah. We went down some rabbit holes. Oh my gosh, we went down some insane rabbit holes. Like, we thought we'd solved it for a while there, right? Like, we were just like, but
I'm pretty sure
when you look back at it,
one of the two people I think it is, but they're never gonna get charged as long as the people that's running the show around there is still involved.
Yeah, that's right. I know. That's what we thought. It went down to South Summer Wells there was deep like drug and police, like corruption, like going on there. The police were getting paid off to look the other way, and see that if they didn't want that exposed, so that, like they had to, like if you know, Summer, if they wanted to find out what happened to Summer, then the whole police, you know, like that, the cops in that area would be exposed.
Whole damn Hawkins County would have to be arrested, basically. I mean,
Oh
serious.
yeah, I know.
That's how bad it. I mean, the whole area would have to be arrested.
Yeah,
because that's how bad it goes.
I think it goes from like the low level cops all the way up, like, and that's why they couldn't. That's why they couldn't. Like, there's no way that it could come out what happened to her, because then they would all be involved. You know, like, it would show the corruption for the whole county, like, and that's just what we put it down to.
Well, and you know how they say that lies always has a little bit of truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
And yep. I will always, always, always go back to what Jody Sue said. And she said Candace was not supposed to call 911. Or that nobody thought Candace would call 911.
Yes, they never thought Candace would report her missing. Yeah.
So that to me told me right away that they took Summer to blackmail Dawn and Candace. And they didn't do it it wasn't supposed to have gone the way it did. Like, they didn't have any intentions of keeping Summer, but something happened.
Yeah. I think they wanted that land. I still think it was something of that land.
Definitely it was the land. Definitely. I believe it was that land. No,
because they were all jealous about that land. The fact that Dawn inherited it.
Yeah, and Jody Sue goes and makes a video saying how she hates the neighbor's kids and she hopes whoever buys that land falls off the cliff and all this shit. She puts it on her Facebook, privatizes it, and 3 days later, Summer goes missing, her neighbor kid. Come on, people.
Yeah, and Candace, like, put that, when Dawn went to Utah, she put that land for sale, and Jody Sue and Andy wanted to buy it.
You're going to pay cash for it.
But yet they said, oh, it's a piece of shit land, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yet they wanted it really badly. So, but it just tells me there was something about that land. Like,
I think it was those towers.
Yeah, something like that.
Because they could get up to $10,000 a month if they allowed them to put those towers up there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still thinking that the Morks and the Sherfies that live next door, that I think they had something to do with it as well. Like, but they work for the county, so you know they work as jailers and correction officers. Yeah, so they work for the sheriff's office. So, you know, it sort of like all ties in there. But
and I think
they would have easily been able to.
Ties going back to Mexico.
Yeah. Oh, well, that sucks that we can't find out any more about that case. Because normally you don't get like a dead end there, like it's a block, like, you know.
Well, none of those 2 times actually told me anything really. I mean, it didn't even go along with the story that they had been putting out. So
yeah, something's not right with what they told the cops, right? He was a good cop and they got him off this case for a reason. Yeah, Jim.
I know what other chart did this to me. Suzanne Morphew's chart was another one that did this to me.
It blocked you? Like, you couldn't figure it out?
It didn't block me. It was just the stories that was being said was not how the chart was reading.
Yeah.
It was like, no,
it's totally opposite.
She did not go missing the time period they said she did. There's just no way. Just like I don't think he went missing the day that they said he went missing.
Yeah, because with the astrology, you've got to go by the time and date. And if that's not right, then it's going to throw the whole thing off, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Okay,
exactly.
Let's go with one of your...
Okay, hang on. I'll just go and find it. Right, can you hear me while I'm doing this?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay, I just like if I happen to go quiet, just tell me, because I'm on a totally different screen now. So, okay. Should we do an old case, a child case, or like a historic one?
Put it in the chart, y'all. Did I say put it in the chart? I meant put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. She's got charts
Put
on
it
the
in
brain.
the chart, y'all.
I've got a famous historic case. I've got a whodunit case, and I've got a what happened to them case.
Oh, now they're all going to be quiet. Look at
it. I love the cold cases, whatever.
What about, do you love any of the hot cases, FarQ? Just kidding.
Okay, right.
Do them all.
Okay, we're gonna.
All right.
We're gonna do this one. I'm gonna give you the details on it so other people know the case and they can research it while we're looking. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So his name was Timothy Pitson. He was 6 years old. He was. Oh, damn it! Can you hear me?
He was. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I can hear
No, my phone just timed out.
My
phone just timed out. The screen just timed out. He was last seen 13th of May 2011.
Okay. Uh-oh. Doxy?
I don't need a chat to say he did it.
Oh, what time did you say?
Why do you keep saying my name? What?
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear your time.
Oh, okay. So, what, you want the time?
Yeah, and the place.
10:08 a.m. Wisconsin.
Okay, 10:08.
But
that's weird. Lauren was born at 10:08. Where in Wisconsin?
Oh
Cheeseburg, Wisconsin.
I didn't write what part of Wisconsin down, but it was called the Kalahari Resort.
Kalahari.
So,
how's that spelled?
Yeah, it was a Kalahari. Kalahari. It was a resort. I don't know what part of Wisconsin it's in. I should have written that down. I thought just because it's in the state, it would be the same.
Let's go with Madison. I don't know where.
I could probably search it.
Is it Madison, Wisconsin?
Yep. Hang on, let me have a look.
Okay. Oh, I know this name. I think.
You guys might know this story. Okay, so the mother grabbed him from his dad dropped him. No, they dropped him off at his elementary school. Half an hour later, the mother went to pick him up. She'd been having mental health issues. She was found deceased May 14th from suicide at the Rockford hotel room. Timothy was missing. The suicide note said, "Tim is safe with someone who loves him, will never be found." So,
yeah.
So they never found the boy. The mother had obviously serious mental issues going on. So she took him on like a 2 or 3 day excursion. They went to water parks. They went here. They went there. And then she was found unalived herself in the hotel room, and he was gone. And his family still wants to know like what happened to him.
So
I think we've done Scott Peterson. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ascendant's at 27 degrees, which is Gemini, in the sign of Cancer. So Gemini would be a child, and Cancer would be mother. So child with the mother. In the sign, so the ruler of this chart is the moon, and it's at 29 degrees. And then 29 degrees is a clairvoyant sign. So it's 29 degrees of Virgo. That's mental health. So the mother, mental health, Virgo, in the third house, which is a place that's not too far from home. So, or with child. So neighborhood, in a car, mental. It's also rules mental. So, and we're seeing here that this is a mental. The mother had mental issues. So the 29th degrees, I would say, since that's a clairvoyant sign, I would say that had more to do with the fact that she was having visions or something to tell her, like to do this or something.
Like a psychosis or something.
Yeah. Kind of like, where people say they hear voices and stuff. Hers is probably more visionary, because that's what clairvoyance is more visionary.
What?
Oh, it just clicked. Oh shit, it just clicked.
What?
Oh, Sebastian Rogers' Sebastian Rogers' chart had a 29 degrees of Virgo moon sitting in the 7th house, which is the first house of the perpetrator. And I said, well, that's a clairvoyant sign. Did she go see a psychic? No. She had a what do you call it? What you just said. Psychosis.
A psychosis?
That's what that means. And it was the same with Maddie Soto.
Yeah, Maddie. Do you know the interesting thing is Maddie went missing on basically the same day and time as Sebastian Rogers.
Sebastian Rogers. That's what it is. The moon at 29 degrees is psychosis in Virgo. Holy fuck.
Well, Madeline Soto's mum was like, she was Lala, like, highly medicated.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say Lala, but
they said that they're more than likely she knew exactly what happened to her. That she may not have killed her, but she knew what had happened. So
she was saying things like, "Oh, I didn't want it to be a Woody Allen situation where she stole him from me."
Yeah,
and it's like, are you freaking serious, lady?
They think I think was pregnant.
Yeah, well, from like basically she said she didn't have her last cycle, so
But if you guys think about this, though, I'm sorry, we're going to skip this for just a minute, but go to Sebastian. Can I skip to Sebastian's chart real fast?
Yeah.
I think
I really don't. I really don't like. Sorry.
That was what was holding me up this whole fucking time. I couldn't understand, and I think I told you numerous times I couldn't understand what that 29 degrees of sitting in that house of the perpetrator was in Sebastian's chart. Why it was sitting there.
So it's like a mental health break or something, a mental break,
like a blackout, like a blackout. Like they can't remember what happened.
Oh,
and that would so perfectly describe what the hell why nobody holy hell. Hold on.
Yeah, and in Madeline Soto's mum, like when they asked her, did you see her that morning and what was she wearing? Like she pretty much just rattled whatever off, and then she said, well, I thought I saw her, but I really didn't. Like,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
they don't
And it's
remember.
like,
They don't remember.
yeah, that's what she said. She said she was like half out of it. Like maybe they were medicated or something. I wonder if Katie took like medication like at night as well. Like, you know.
Yep. You guys look at this. Look at this.
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm flicking
You guys
over.
see that?
I don't want to point any fingers at any parents on an open investigation.
No.
Like this
This
like
is
a
what I'm just
recent one,
saying.
but
Well, it's kind of hard not to when I'm reading a chart. I got to say what I see.
yeah. I know you do,
and
but yeah.
This is all based on assumptions.
Entertainment purposes.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah, let me
in our opinion.
In our opinion only.
Because
I'm on brownies. Green brownies, so don't quote me on anything.
Yeah. I went back and forth with Candace and Don like multiple times. Just the way they were acting, and there was different things, and
yeah. I stopped going in and defending them because they went back after Dawn got out. They went back and stayed on YouTube.
Yeah. And they went back to the drinking.
I never strayed away from the fact that I thought they were innocent, though. But anyway, there, I'm rolling that across there. Now, do you guys see what's on the up there on the screen now?
Yeah.
Right. This is
the moon.
Yeah, look at the moon, and it's at 29 degrees of Virgo, and Virgo's right here. Oh shit! Hold on, I gotta go back over on the other side.
It's weird because when you did Madeline Soto's chart, it instantly, it like almost points. If you see it, it almost points to the moon. It's almost like an arrow. It points directly at the moon, and it's like,
so if
the moon is the mother.
The moon, right there on this chart on the panel, the moon, and it says 29 degrees, and it's in the 3rd house, and it's in the sign of Virgo. Virgo's the green right here. You can see the Virgo sign right there. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to Sebastian's. Hopefully. Okay. Can you guys see that? The moon is right here. This is the house of the perpetrator, the first house. The first house always describes you physically and your characteristics. And if there's a planet sitting in here, it usually means more than one person. And in this case, the moon represents the mother. In all charts, it represents a mother or mother figure. Okay, so this is moon at 29 degrees, and this is in Virgo. It's exactly the same as that case we just looked at, except it's in the 7th house instead of the 3rd.
Oh, the one that the one I just gave you, yes. Timothy Pitson.
So, if this, and Virgo represents a step, something second, something that is in place of, so like a step parent, foster parent, a godparent. Okay. And the ruler of the perpetrator's first house is Mercury. Now, Mercury is a step. It's at the 5 degrees, which is Leo. Leo represents men, but it's also the father. Conjunct Sun, which again is men and father. So you got stepfather with 5, stepfather with the sun, sitting here on Sebastian's ascendant sign on the 12th house side, which means he did not see the stepdad. The stepfather.
Yeah.
The stepdad. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and that's all in the sign of Pisces, which is the ruler of Sebastian. Pisces ruler is Neptune. Neptune sits in Sebastian's first house, meaning that Sebastian was unconscious. Sebastian was either drugged, which I think he was. I'm pretty sure, I mean, according to this chart, he was drugged. So, if he's unconscious, and that would, of course, signify that he couldn't see whoever was in his 12th house, of course, which would have been the stepfather in this case, because that's Mercury conjunct Sun in the sign of their fifth degree, which is father again. And the Sun is at the 7th degree, which is married. So it's a married stepfather. Well, who would the stepfather be married to? The mother. The mother in this case is over here, the moon, sitting in the stepfather's first house. So the mother and the father. The mother is at 29 degrees of Virgo. Virgo means mental health. And 29 degrees in this case is clairvoyance. But like we said with the Timothy case, this is somebody that's not, what'd you say? Oh, in psychosis. This has to be somebody that's in psychosis. Meaning they're temporarily insane. So something happened to make this moon snap. So now she's not remembering. Psychosis could make you not remember.
Could medication or no? Medication's different?
No, I don't think this has anything to do with medication. I think this is something where she snapped. She lost it. Like something set her off. She went into a berserko psychosis and then she forgot. She went into like what do they call it? Temporary amnesia? A blackout. And Mercury represents black. So, a blackout. She had a blackout, just like Timothy's mom.
The question is, though, like, what do you think happened to Timothy? Like,
let me go back.
Oh, because they blacked out, you can't really tell, or
I don't know. Let me go back to
I'm just trying to change the focus of Sebastian. I would find Sebastian sitting behind a keyboard in Seattle. It is absurd. Like many things I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it would also. Well, maybe I shouldn't say anything yet. Let's see. Go back and change the.
It's just really weird with Timothy. The mother wrote. Well, we were talking about Timothy, but he had the same sort of things in his chart as Sebastian. So
no,
that's why Sway brought up Sebastian.
Well, yeah, because it's been sitting there the whole time. I couldn't understand. I was like, why is that moon there? Why is that moon there? Why is it at the 29th degree? And I said it several times. I'm like, why would she go see a psychic? Because that's the only thing I could think of at the time. I was like, and then you brought this chart up and it was like, no. Now I understand what that means. Hold on.
And Madeline Soto's mum was the same. She was having a mental health crisis. Soto's mom.
Because if you look at it,
let's just keep it to Timothy and Madeline Soto, maybe, because we know a little bit more about those cases.
Oh, I don't care. I'm reading the chart. I can't lie.
I know, but we weren't talking about Sebastian. So did Timothy's mum do something to him? Yes, but I know, but
Doxy's. This doesn't have anything to do with Doxy. This is all my opinion. I had to, because now it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I understand that. I just think with
see.
Sebastian's case being so fresh, talking about it is a bit dangerous.
It's all speculation.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense to me. Anywho, let's see. So,
well, the three charts are very similar, which is interesting.
Well, so this Timothy chart at 10:08. Now, was he last seen on a video?
Yeah, at the hotel. That was the last time he was caught on.
Because this is basically the ruler of the ascendant is basically picking up on the mother. So,
I mean, we know the mother was, in this case, we know the mother was involved because she was the one who took him. She was the one who was caught on camera with him. And she was the one found deceased without him. So it's like, but she left us a note saying that he's safe and he's with someone that loves him and you'll never find him.
Well, if you use this Leo as the co-ruler of the ascendant in this case, which is Leo, and the sun rules Leo, and it's in the 11th house, and that's friends at the 22nd degree, which is to kill or be killed. So if this is picking up on the mother as the ascendant, because it's 27 degrees of Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon's the mother. The mother's at 29 degrees of Virgo, meaning psychosis. And we use the co-ruler of the ascendant, which is Leo, and the sun ruled by the sun at 22 degrees of kill or be killed. This to me tells me the mother killed the son.
Okay.
Now,
yeah,
he's in the 11th house in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is your forest or your area where a lot of trees are. Parks. Could be a park. Could be a farm, because Leo or Taurus rules cows. Let's see, where's Venus is ruled. It's in the 10th house.
I mean, the mother was the one who said they're never going to find him. So, I mean, it pretty, like, I got right through the documentary, got all the details written down, then I found out that she'd written that in the letter, and I was like, oh. But yeah, the dad went, so that he was dropped off at school. Sorry.
Unfortunately, the ruler of the sun, which is Timothy, is Venus. Venus is at 27 degrees of Aries. Aries is blood, the head, a gun or weapon. It's also conjunct Mars, which again rules head, injury, gun, weapon. And it's in the sign of Taurus. That's your neck. So I think she may have stabbed him in the neck or shot him in the neck. It's at 1 degree again, which is Aries, which is your head, your blood, accidents, weapons. So there's a theme there with either head, weapon, gun, but it's also with Taurus. Taurus is your neck, your ears, your throat. So she either shot him through the neck, stabbed him in the neck. I think he's somewhere in that area around that. Wait a minute. Didn't they say that she drove somewhere though?
The mother?
Yeah, didn't they say she drove like an hour away or something?
Yeah, they went. Okay, so like I think the dad dropped him off at school. Half an hour later, the mother was caught on the school cameras picking him up at say like I think it was 9 a.m., 8:30, 9 a.m. She was caught on the camera saying they had a family emergency, and she had to take him out of school. So she grabbed him from school. Over the next 2 days, she was caught on camera multiple times at different locations, taking him to water parks, a hotel, all these different things, like almost like they were having like a holiday. And then the last time they were caught on camera was checking into that hotel, I think. It was checking in or checking out, I think, checking out. And then when they found her 2 days later, she was in another hotel without him, deceased with the note. So they did go like, yeah, she did she took him away from his hometown, like an hour or two out, and they went on all these excursions.
Yeah. I think he's somewhere in the forest, somewhere in the surrounding area. Because it's in Taurus. Taurus is trees, a farm, gardens. It could also be a bridge, so he could be under a bridge. I don't see anything with water, so I don't. If he is, it wouldn't be where water was. So it could just be
it wasn't
like
until they sorry. Yeah, it wasn't until
it's off a highway. He's off a highway.
I got to the
guys.
end of the. He's off a highway.
Because Jupiter sits there. So he was in a car with her. It's off a highway. It could be a bridge off a highway, but it's definitely surrounded by trees and stuff. So this could be farmland. Where was this at? Illinois?
Wisconsin. Wasn't it Wisconsin? I think. Yeah, hang on. Wisconsin, yeah. Last seen at the Kalahari Resort on camera, 10:08 a.m. And then that was the 13th. And then the 14th, she was found at the Rockford Hotel. And Timothy was missing, and she was unalived herself. Left a note saying Tim is safe, or someone who loves him will never be found. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't until I got to the end of it, and when they said about the note, I was like, oh yeah, well that kind of doesn't sound good. I don't believe that. I think maybe she means he's with God. But her family, her sister and her mother were like convinced that she was like mentally sick, like she wasn't well. So, but you've done Chiron, right? We did Chiron woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Far put another one up in here. It's hard doing kids cases. I don't know. Maybe I should stop doing kids ones. These kids cases are not very nice because nobody wants to hear like the outcome.
There's the definition of psychosis, just so everybody knows that I wasn't just kind of throwing that out there. And it kind of goes along with what I said. I put it in the chat.
In the chat. Okay. Should seek urgent medical attention. Treatments include antipsychotic drugs such as cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay. Diagnosis, it can be caused by a number of factors. Oh, right. Okay. I see. It's like long. Oh. Okay.
Hallucinations. seeing and hearing things. So see, this is
Yeah.
this goes along with the 29 degrees being a clairvoyant sign.
Yeah. Well, clairvoyant is all to do with mental, like, you know, your brain and visions and things like that. So yeah, it could easily be interpreted as a psychotic break or diagnosis. Okay. All right. Sorry if we upset anyone there with that.
Why would we upset anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I just, some people, you know, kids' cases are sensitive. Like, maybe I don't know. It's just hard, like, hearing things like that about kids' cases. I don't know. But after I did that and wrote it all down, and then when I read that she'd said he was safe, he was with someone who loved him, and he'll never be found, I was like,
it's usually somebody that means
God.
Yeah, it usually means, in this case, it usually means somebody that's been with God.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I took away from it too, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. These ones are really just hard. There's one here that Far put in the chat. I don't know if you've heard of this lady. Hang on, let me find it. I'm trying to find it. Okay, I don't know if you know the name of this lady. Oh, hang on. I've gone past it. I don't know. Oh, Dolce Maria Alaves. Have you heard of her?
Was she the one that saw
I don't. She's missing from Bridgeton, New Jersey.
Oh no.
29. Last seen 2019, but between 4 and 5.
What was her name?
Okay, her name was Maria. Hang on. God, I keep missing. Dolce. Dulce. Maria Alaves. Alavez.
Almost sounds like we did do this one. I don't know. What's the date?
Okay. Hang on. I'll give you the date. 16th of September, 2019.
And what time?
Between 4 and 5 p.m. Last seen between 4 and 5. Bridgeton, New Jersey.
Is this the school kid? Because it almost sounds like it did.
Okay, so this Maria, Dolce Maria, that we're doing now, Far. Was she a child? Dolce. Oh, here we go. Thanks, Far. She's the one step ahead of me. Dolce was a 5-year-old girl who disappeared from a park as her pregnant mum scratched a scratchy in her car. Kids were about 30 meters away. They were at the Bridgeton Park. I think I might have heard of this, actually. So, and all the kids came back except for her, right? Like, they were all playing. And then they're like, where's Dulce or Dolce or Dulce? I guess it's Dulce. Must be. Dolce is like caramel.
What was the date on this? September 16th, 2019?
Yeah.
Okay, this sounds okay. Oh boy, hold on.
New Jersey. Bridgeton. Oh, far. Yeah, I do remember this. And so all the other kids came back and they're like, where's your sister? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, because we thought this was the neighbor, right?
They're at the park. The neighbor?
Oh, no, that was the ice cream truck guy.
I'll beware of ice cream truck guys. Scratch to scratch. Sounds like she was abducted. But that's if the mum was telling the truth. I guess the kids were interviewed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this isn't this doesn't go along with what you guys are saying either. Oh.
Okay, we're having astrological blocks today, guys. The
No,
planets aren't working with us.
It's not blocks.
No, I'm kidding.
It's just they're not. It's not corresponding with what they're telling us.
Okay. The mum was a very young mother, apparently. So what, the mother's not telling the truth? The mother's, like, the story that the mother's giving isn't adding up with the chart? Or the time? The time they've gone missing isn't adding up?
Well, it's saying that if they're saying she was at a park, well, the ascendant sign is at 27 degrees, which is a Gemini, which is young children or a car, but it's in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn's like it's cold, death, old.
Yeah.
And the ruler of the ascendant sign sits in the 12th house again, meaning death. So this child at 4:30 p.m. was already dead, if this is the case. So this, to me, it doesn't go along with what they're saying. Because now if we use the ascendant sign, I mean the descendant, which is the first house of the perpetrator, it sits at 27 degrees of Cancer, which 27 degrees is a young, and then Cancer would be mother. Okay, and it could be a car, so that could be mom was sitting in a car. Now if we go with the moon, the ruler of the mom or the perpetrator, the moon is sitting in the 3rd house, which is neighborhood or a car again. It's at the 22nd degree of to kill or be killed in the sign of Aries. So to me, this is, she may have hit her with a car.
Oh, shit.
The ruler of the 3rd house of car is Mars, and Mars sits in the 8th house of death. Yep, she hit her with a car. But they were not at no damn park. They were not at no damn park.
Fa, do you know any more information on this? Like, was there any witnesses or like confirmations there at the park, or like any the other kids, were they old enough to witness anything? Or because if that's true, then maybe I don't we're not on a very good run tonight with outcomes here. But that would kind of make sense. Like, you know, we're on a theme, and it seems to be like parents that
Ooh. Ooh.
Like maybe it's
Now
accidental.
this says 2 days after Dulce disappeared, and Amber went out to describe the original theory from witnesses and law enforcement that a suspect lured the girl into a red van. Well, Aries represents red, and it's in the third house, which would be a red car. But it goes into the 8th house of death. So, no. Somebody hit this girl in a red car. What color was the mother's car, I wonder?
Yeah.
So the cars, okay, so it's in the 8th house. Mars is conjunct Sun. So that's a man. Conjunct Venus. So there was a man and a woman and children. So there was a man, a woman, and children in that car that hit the little girl. The car hit the little. So maybe the moon isn't her mother. Maybe the moon is the mother of whoever was in this car that hit the girl.
Whoever hit her. Wow. And I mean, if the mother was scratching a scratchy, she was sitting with her head down, wasn't looking or watching.
That is so
like
weird.
that little girl could have easily like walked behind a vehicle and maybe been hit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Maybe instead of,
and you know, people are scared that they're going to get in trouble if it's accidental, so they do crazy things like try and hide it. You know?
Yeah, maybe they hit her and hurried up and scooped her and put her up in their car so people wouldn't see it.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. But you think the mother would have seen something? But what did Far say? She said
maybe the mother was on drugs. Okay.
Kids were about 30 meters away there. Oh, the kids. Oh, here we go. Park is your pregnant mum scratch. Kids were about 30 meters away. Her family believes she's still alive.
Nope. She had a broken bone. She had broken bones.
Oh, I hope they didn't like reverse over her or something. I'm not saying the mother. I'm just saying whoever was driving the vehicle. Sorry. We need to stop doing kids cases. They're just too much. Can't. I did do a random one, like an old mystery case, but it's pretty obvious what happened on that case anyway. So, I think it might be a waste of time, really.
Well, just give us
so many cover-up accidents. Yeah.
Give me the date or the time and stuff, and we'll.
For the mission. For this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the date, July 2nd, 1937.
Okay.
8:43 a.m.
Oops. Okay.
And Howland Island, HOWLAND. And I had to look on the maps where the hell Howland Island is. And it's actually in between like New Zealand, Australia, and Hawaii, which is interesting because it's the Pacific. So,
okay, how do you spell it?
HOW.
Okay.
LAND.
Howland Island.
Island. Yeah. And it's not coming up.
No.
Damn it. I was wondering if that was going to happen.
I wonder where.
And it's in the middle of. Hang on, Howland. It's in the middle of. It's like in between New Zealand and Australia. It's in the Pacific. So, is it the Pacific? Oh yeah, Pacific Ocean. Yeah. Which is really annoying. So that's really not going to tell us much, is it? If Howland Island. And the real weird thing is Howland Island now is like a sanctuary. It's like a bird sanctuary. So like,
hold on, let me see if I can get.
It would almost be.
Let me try
like a time.
Let me try New Zealand. Which is it closest to? New Zealand.
Hang on. Let me. Oh, hang on. Probably closer to Australia. Just trying to think what part of Australia. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look at the maps. Google. I'll find out. Maps. And Australia. So
it's what?
It's halfway between Hawaii and Australia.
Mm.
So I wouldn't even put New Zealand there. That's what they have on the Google. So maybe you could go with Hawaiian.
Pacific Ocean. Let's just see if I can.
It's 1,700 nautical miles southwest of Honolulu.
Oh. Okay. Honolulu. How you spell Honolulu?
HONOLULU.
Oh. I see what I did wrong.
Sorry, guys, I missed chat. Be East Coast of Australia, Sydney time. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Far. Like, it's a little bit confusing. Yeah, let's do a mystery one. Okay, mystery. So many that aren't even reported. This isn't a child, by the way. Just for time for dinner. We'll check back. Okay, MJ, thanks for joining us. Oh, not between NZ and here.
Oops.
Honolulu.
Okay, this is at 23 degrees which is Aquarius of Leo. Aquarius is airplanes. Leo would be famous.
Yes.
Leo ruled by the sun. The sun sits in the 11th house. So this has to be somebody. See, what the hell is it in the 11th house? Well,
what's
either
in the
this
11th
person
house?
was friends, or they were doing this for like some kind of a retirement. And the sign of Cancer.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would say this is probably a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody from the United States, at least, because it's in the sign of Cancer, which is homeland. In the sign of Mercury, conjunct Mercury, meaning she was driving it. So this is an airplane.
Yep. Do you want me to tell you who it is now already?
Yeah.
Because you're pretty... Amelia Earhart. And she was doing Around the World.
Funny.
And...
Yeah. Which is funny because...
I just wanted to know, like, because I knew she said her last transmission was at that time that I gave you, and she was reporting that she was low on fuel. And Helen Island is in the middle of nowhere, so, and it's really small. So, like, if they were off on their navigation, they were pretty much dead in the water, you know, like.
Well, it's really funny because Neptune sits in our first house, and in the sign, Neptune rules gasoline. In the sign of Mercury, Mercury means low of or not enough of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she did not, they did.
Well, as soon as you said airplane and then the woman was driving it, I was like, well, you pretty much just hit the nail on the head right there. And then you said it was some kind of retirement. Well, it was kind of like she was doing her, you know, her big around the world. It was kind of like her, it wasn't like a retirement, but she was getting on in age, and it was like her big, you know, like, this is going to be my world record kind of thing.
Oh, that's weird too, because the ruler of the sun, which is her, is in the sign of Cancer, which the ruler would be Moon. The moon sits in the 9th house of world, so around the world.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and it was that last stretch that she was heading from Lae, which I don't know where Lae is. I think Lae is New Guinea or somewhere. And then she was heading to Hawaii, and she was supposed to stop at Helen Island to fuel up. And they got a transmission saying that they were low on fuel, and then that was the last time they heard from them. And, like, I'm like, well, it's pretty obvious what happened, you know, like. This is one I looked at for sway. Also, really far. I like these old cases because you can't you know, like, it's so old. This is Amelia Earhart, Gem. You know, the famous woman pilot that went missing and her plane's never been found. And Sway just basically said, plane, woman driving it. She was doing some kind of retirement type thing. And then the fuel was low. I don't know. I didn't know if we'd get any answers out of it, but I just thought I'd do it because I like these old sort of mysteries and stuff.
I
didn't know if you'd see anything.
I don't know if anybody can look it up, but I don't know. It's Pisces rules the 8th house of death, which is, in this case, it'd be an island or the sea. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like, she could have landed that plane on another island, like, close by, because there's islands scattered all around there. And I think she could have done a crash landing if she had to. Like, I think she was capable of doing that. And there were like rumors that she did actually make it to an island, but, like, they, you know, they didn't, because they did a big search and everything for them.
But Pisces also rules unconsciousness, and it's in her first. The ruler is Neptune. Neptune sits in the 11th, or in her, first house. So somehow she became unconscious. So I don't know if that could have been fumes, but the co-ruler of her 8th house is Mars, and Mars is accident. I mean, it could be crash. So I don't know what kind of plane she was driving, but is there any way, if you had low fuel, if it could have been fumes that from low fuel that got into her or caused her to go unconscious?
I don't know. I know it was a Lockheed Electra. That was the plane. I don't know about fumes. Like, I know she had a navigator on board with her too. She wasn't on her own.
That's why there was Neptune, Mercury with her.
Yeah, Noonan was her navigator. Yeah, I was looking. Jim just mentioned the Malaysia flight 357, and
yeah, we did that one.
Oh, that was actually on my list. We've done that.
Yeah, we did that one. Yep.
Oh, did we? Damn it! Hang on. Oh, the Mary Celeste. That's a good one. Far just sent me through.
How do you spell Amelia?
Some mysteries of all time. What is it?
Oh, I got
Sorry?
it. Let's see. I want to see if it would be fumes.
I think the plane was running on fumes. I don't know about the doctor just sent. Yeah, I was just looking at that far. The Roanoke Colony. Oh, that's another good one. Yeah, I think they did integrate like the Roanoke Colony, but I love the Roanoke Colony mystery, the Loch Ness Monster, the Mary Celeste's fate, the fate of the crew.
Find somebody that knew anything about this airplane she was driving.
What do you want to know?
Because Neptune's sitting in her first house. That means she was unconscious. So something caused. Something caused her to be unconscious. And we know that she had low fuel.
Yeah, so I don't know I did, and then I did read that she was having trouble with her exhaust manifold, and that so was the exhaust maybe exhausting into the plane, like was she?
Plane. Yeah. Hold on.
Yep, yeah, she had the male with her that his name was Noonan. Someone Noonan. He was the navigation
co-pilot.
How old was she? He was a co-pilot. Yeah, she might have had an episode. Yeah, because I remember them saying they were having issues with the exhaust manifold, and I was like, "Well, exhaust would equal fumes, wouldn't it?" Like, so yeah, maybe it was that playing up.
Her plane was to fly away to Paris, but after her altimeter had failed. Hold on. Oh, this was in May of 1932. Hold on. She had problems with her. I wonder if it's the same plane that she drove or flew. I guess you don't drive them. You fly
she had. It was her Lockheed Electra. Hang on.
Lockheed Matra 5B Vega.
Yeah. Hang on.
So May 20th, 1932 at 7:12 p.m. She departed Harbor Grace, Newfoundland on a solo transatlantic flight. Her airplane was a modified engine Lockheed Model 5B Vega 952. Her plane was to fly all the way to Paris, but after her ultimate had failed, encountering adverse weather, including heavy ice and fog, a fuel leak, and a damaged exhaust manifold.
See, I told you.
So she had problems then. Let's see.
Yeah, a fuel leak and a damaged exhaust. But I thought they fixed it. Yeah, I thought they fixed that. But what happens if, like, how old was she? She was 30. She was 39, Jim. So if she had a fuel leak and a I'm sure I'm sure they said they fixed it before she went on with the next part of her flight. Like she didn't fly non-stop. Like she had to stop.
So was this all? So was this in 1932? Is that the date you gave me?
Hang on. Hang on. July 2nd, 1937? Did I give you the wrong date?
Okay, so this was in 1932, so that was 5 years earlier. Or yeah.
It was July 2nd, 1937. That's what I had written down.
Let me see. Okay, so she had problems with the exhaust manifold in 1932.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just
so
like, I didn't know that it was like 5 years before. Duh. Let's see what else I can find.
She was declared dead on January 5th, 1939.
Yeah, I saw that. Only 2 years
July
later?
2nd, 19. Okay,
yeah.
So let me see something.
Also, your times might be off a little bit because we couldn't get the Howland Island time. Hang on, let me see if I can. Okay. It's 3:08 p.m. in Helen Island now, and it's 4:08 in New Zealand. So they're an hour behind us. So they're an hour difference from New Zealand time. So I don't know how you would be able to work that out, but.
Just makes you wonder because there's Neptune there. It also could be that she'd never be found, which is very obvious. But I still think she was unconscious.
Well, maybe as the fuel got low, like, it was running on fumes. I don't know. Like, maybe they both fell unconscious. Yeah. I just thought, I'll just Google the time and look that up. Hang on a minute. And they're only an hour difference from us. They're an hour behind.
There's a kite. There's a kite formation in this chart.
They're actually not that far away from New Zealand. I didn't realize she crashed so close to New Zealand. It wasn't until I started looking into it. I wonder if this.
Now this is weird. So the 9th house ruler sits in the 3rd house. So the plane would be the third house, which would be ruled by Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is in the 10th house. 24 degrees. This is interesting. So the third house would be the airplane itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus sits in the 10th house of the chart at 24 degrees. Well, yeah, but at 24 degrees, which is Neptune or Pisces, and Pisces is ocean, and it's disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It means disappeared. So the airplane disappeared in the ocean. Oh.
Yeah.
Driven by a lady.
They think that they... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Turbulence.
So, but it's also co-ruled by Scorpio, which is Pluto in the 12th house, again, unknown. And co-ruled by Mars, which is sitting at 19 degrees of Scorpio, which is is in connection with... Oh, shit. She may have been shot down, guys.
What?
The Islanders must have shot her down. Somebody shot her down. Shot the plane, because the plane has Mars sitting in there, which is like a bullet hole, an accident. It's a hole. And the sign of Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scorpio's death. So somebody intentionally shot that plane down.
Wow. Well, yeah, I wonder if I might look more into it tonight. But there was, there was a lot of, no, they never found anything. They never even found like a scrap, a piece of nothing, like nothing floating, nothing. Just there's no sign of her, and they sent out major search crews all around the Pacific Islands. Nothing.
So see, her
and
co-ruler,
that's what made me think, because there was this clickbait thing that came up that said that they've caught the plane on a scanning image or something, like a satellite image or something. But I don't think they have.
So,
and then there was talk that they actually landed on an island and were eaten by coconut crabs. I mean, like, really, it could maybe
Mars or Pluto.
It was a huge news thing.
Scorpio is black people, or rules like desert people, but there wouldn't be desert people out there in frickin' Hawaii, would there?
There'd be native people. Well, it wasn't Hawaii. Howland Island in that is the Pacific Island, so it's more like, native islanders.
They probably wouldn't have had a gun or anything like that to shoot her down. Maybe it's just meaning they landed
the really
there.
Weird thing was maybe someone didn't want her to complete that journey, like, because it was huge. It was all over the news and everyone was covering it, and it was like a really big thing back in those days, because I don't think anyone had done it. And it's like, maybe they didn't want a woman to do it. Maybe it was the fact that she was a woman and they didn't want that. Because back in those days, like, women they didn't want women doing those sort of things. It was a man's thing, So I don't know.
Could be the CIA.
But I will look.
Secret.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'll look more into it and see who was involved. Yeah, I'll look more into it, because I know there was a big, there was a lot of, I don't know how to explain it, the words for it, but, there was a lot of coverage on it. And I just wonder if it was the fact that she was a woman. Back in 37? That wasn't something that it was really acceptable for women to do a man's thing like that. And if she was going to be setting world records, like, maybe they didn't want a woman to do that. Just I mean, but I'll have a look more into it. I'm gonna watch a bit more about it and just see if there was any government agencies or anything like that involved. Because, you know, someone could have landed on any one of those little islands and waited for her to fly over and, you know. Yeah, far. I don't know. It's just odd that they never found anything. There was never any answers, never any wreckage. So in that case, it would mean that she would have had to have been shot down where it was really deep, you know, somewhere where they weren't going to find the plane. Just like that Malaysia flight, you know, how that has never been found either. But is it a conspiracy? I don't know. But I'll find out and see if there's any, like, if there were... Huh?
It could be because Scorpio represents conspiracy. So it could be. Could be there was a conspiracy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if there was a male pilot trying to do it at the same time and it was a race, like, you know... I don't know. I just think that's interesting anyway. I mean, obviously she went missing, like, and the plane crashed somewhere, but we don't know. We knew it was low on fuel.
Yeah, so she did radio that in. So we did know she did have low fuel.
Yeah, she radioed that into Helen Island. That was the last time they heard from her. That was what the time went on. So,
and it did show up in the chart.
Yeah, and I mean, was the navigation off? Like, did they fly just a little bit too much to the left or too much to the right of the island and miss it? I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's just weird that she was such an experienced.
Yeah. But that hitting that island would have probably been a real challenge because it's honestly in the middle of, like I said, it's in the middle of New Zealand, Australia, and Hawaii. And I mean, there are little other islands scattered around, but nothing really significant. That was probably the biggest one there. And it's like, if you don't hit that island, there's nowhere else really for you to land. And it wasn't a water landing plane, I don't think. It wasn't a water plane. So, but yeah, it's all interesting. I like these history mysteries. I don't know, history mysteries. Just things that have never been answered.
Who else do we know or that we could check and that's had a psychosis and had a memory loss?
Had a mental break. I don't know.
Psychosis.
I'm trying to
think. Murders.
Who got locked up? What about Letitia Stork? She had one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know if she... No, she didn't really. She was faking that because she planned that. Like, she was very calculated, actually. But she tried to say she had a psychosis. Well, she tried to say she was multiple personality, but she wasn't. I'm just making a coffee. I'm trying to think who's been locked up in a... Well, wasn't it Susan Smith? Or no, not Susan Smith. The other one who drove her kids into the...
Oh, Dowd.
Paula Yates? Is it someone Yates? Jessica? Someone Yates?
No, she drowned her kids.
Yeah,
Andrea
but she was
Yates
having like a mental... Andrea Yates. She was having a...
You're thinking of Maureen Dowds or whatever.
Sorry. Oh, my son.
Okay, this one says this lady disappeared.
Oh my gosh.
says a 23-year-old Chatham woman who went missing last week are spreading the word around her son's disappearance, which they worried is related to her mental health struggles after COVID-19. She was last seen 2 p.m. September 29th riding a silver scooter around the area of some grocery street in Devonshire. She suffered from COVID-related psychosis after a fraction. Which affects a fraction of those with COVID. Oh, let's look this lady up and let's see what her moon sits at. Let's see.
Okay.
Where was
I'm
this
just
at?
making a coffee.
Los Angeles Times. Los Angeles. Okay, so October. She was last seen September 29th. What day though? 2022. Okay, let me go. Oh.
No, so you've just been fed? No. You've already had 2 dinners? No. My cat, I swear to God, he is such a hungus cat. Like, he's purring, he's rubbing up on the cupboard, he's going, it's time to be fed. I'm like, hang on, I just fed you just before I got on this live stream, like 2 hours ago. Don't you try and trick me. He's trying to trick me. Oh shit.
What did I say?
He relies on my bad memory far. The Aileen Moore lighthouse. We want to do the 3 lighthouse guys that disappeared off Aileen Moore lighthouse.
What the hell is that? I never heard of that. 2 p.m.
What is it?
I never heard of that one.
Oh, you haven't heard of the lighthouse? It's a really old one, but we'll do that next time. I said to Farah, I love that mystery. I watch vids on it all the time and it never changes. It's always the same. They disappeared and no one knows where they went. But there's been speculation that it was aliens, all sorts of shit. Like, basically, I think it was a storm that washed them off the
probably
off the rock. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what this lady's. Oh,
I don't know the story about Taylor Show business. Yeah. Far, you think it was a big wave, a big freak wave? I think that's probably the most explainable thing, because there was damage done to the railings and everything around the landing area. What are you looking up, Sway?
Oh, they said that she had psychosis, or they thought she had psychosis from COVID. But I'm looking it up right now. The moon's in Scorpio at 26 degrees. So if she did, let's see, Pluto, Mars. Mercury. Yeah, this goes to the 8th house, so she's probably dead too. Well, that's.
You just want to look more into the psychosis, what psychosis looks like on a chart, right? Is that?
Yeah, I want to see what that is, because you got that Timothy, and then you've got Madeline Soto and Sebastian Rogers. All we know that Timothy's
very similar
mother had,
chart.
and then we know that there's some lapse of some stuff in Sebastian's case, and we know that Madeline Soto's mother was not. Maybe
she had issues.
Yeah, definitely had issues. But so the 29th degrees is clairvoyance, and clairvoyance can be seeing, it could be hearing, it could be visions. And that's usually what happens when somebody has a psychotic episode.
Yeah. So it's very similar. Like, you could mistake one for the other, like, almost, right?
Yeah, and I kept saying that whole time.
So it's all in your head.
Why would that be? Why would his mother go see it? Like, why would there be something, with a clairvoyant in there?
About a psychic.
Like, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, if you think about it, clairvoyance visions are all in their head, and so is someone having a psychotic break. It's all in their head. So it would make sense that it.
Doesn't paranoid schizophrenics have this say that people talk to them?
Yeah, they see things too. They also have visual, I don't really know much about schizophrenia, but paranoid schizophrenics are the ones that, and they hear things like, things tell them what to do, and, they think they're getting messages and that sort of thing. She chopped up her lover, left his head and penis in a bucket. His mum found it. Don't know if she was psychotic. She was in. Oh, I remember that. I heard about. Is she the one who wheeled it on the little wagon? Wheeled the bucket?
Yeah.
Wheeled the bucket on a wagon? Oh, I didn't know that was your business. I'd heard it.
She left it at the bottom of the staircase, I thought.
Left his head and penis in a. You know more about schizotypal?
What's that?
Oh, like schizophrenic type. So paranoid schizophrenia is that when they hear things and see things, and in his room in the basement. She chopped up her left his head. She was on drugs. Damn, those must have been some hell of a drug. Must have been a hell of a drug then. Sounds like meth to me.
Yeah, but paranoid schizophrenics do they usually kill people?
A mix of schizophrenia and bipolar. Oh, okay, schizotypal. Mix of schizophrenia and bipolar. Oh, okay, right, I get you. Your best friend has it, okay. What did you say about
schizophrenics? Don't usually kill people, though, do they?
Well, so I think sometimes if they're having a delusion that maybe someone is the devil, or like they I don't know, we'd have to look more into it. That's just stereotypical. Like, I don't want to speak on it because not everyone's like that, but I think there are cases where they believe that someone's the devil or someone's evil, or
those are the mothers that say that they have to kill their kids because they're evil or whatever, right? Are those more the schizophrenics?
Fasties with the schizotypal, with the schizophrenia and bipolar, they are more likely to hurt themselves than somebody else.
That's what I thought. Now, psychosis, no, I think I wonder if psychosis people would be more.
Well, the postpartum psychosis, how we talked about that lady last week who jumped out the window and hurt her 3 kids. Yeah, that was a psychosis.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was a psychosis. But that was a postpartum.
Fuck, I can't remember now.
Oh, Lindsay.
Oh yeah.
Is
Lindsay.
it someone Lindsay? Lindsay.
Yeah, I believe so. Did I save her
Because
chart?
I actually looked into that after we talked about that last week. Because I was like, how could she do that? But she planned it. Like she planned it. She looked at the route her husband had to take, everything like that.
Yeah, I don't
Like that
think
wasn't
she
just
was
a
actually
snap.
psychosis.
No.
Yeah, I don't think hers was full blown psychosis. Because she planned it.
No, because I don't. Yeah, it wasn't just like she didn't just snap all of a sudden. Like she sent him out purposely on a long trip. Then she Googled where he was going, how long it was going to take, and all that sort of thing. Like that was my friend thinks I steal his thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I remember
they think
somebody saying
you
that.
sort of get into their head. Yeah,
Yeah.
they think you're like getting into their head, into their mind.
Well, my theory is if we're on to something with the 29 degrees of Virgo, and I think it has to be a 29 degrees of Virgo because Virgo is mental illness. So if there's a 29 degrees of Virgo moon, if they had a psychosis and can't remember, let's put psychosis and blackout. Let me make sure that's because it could actually really explain some stuff with that case. Psychogenetic blackout, specifically called psychogenetic non-pholeptic seizures. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But like even in the case with Timothy's mum, she planned that over 3 days. She took him out of school. She took him to all these fun things to do.
I know who another one we should look up is that Chad Dorman or whatever, who killed his 3
shot
kids,
his
3 boys, and they said
and his wife, and then the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daughter ran. The daughter ran and managed to get away. Yeah, and then he just sat there and he just basically sat down and waited to get arrested.
Yeah, because they said that he planned that one too.
Yeah. And it was like that one with Timothy. I mean, she was having. I don't know how long a psychosis can last for, though. Maybe a psychosis can last for longer than just a moment. Like it can actually be ongoing. Because they were saying that Timothy's mum was really struggling.
Yeah, and they said this Chad Dorman supposedly was having, like, something was telling him to do this. What? Can you find a date on this? I can't find a date.
Who is it? The Chad
Dorman? Doerman.
Okay, hang on. Let me have a look.
Okay, June 15th, 2023, but I don't know what time it was.
What do you need?
The time and date. Let's see, was it 23rd of June?
I've got 15th, 2023.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. Okay. 15th of June, 2023. I can't remember. Do you know what time it was?
I'm trying to find a time. events. Hang on. Okay,
Yeah, it
so
said he was mumbling, carrying around a Bible in the moments before.
he returned home early from work and requested his 3 sons and wife join him in the primary bedroom for a nap. So if he returned home early from work, I don't know, that still doesn't give you a freaking time.
What time was the 911 call?
Hang on. Sure. The stepdaughter had been watching television, had entered the bedroom. Stepdaughter. Okay. Police arrived at 4:25 p.m.
Okay, 4:25.
So I'd say it would have been around 4 p.m. Like that, if he got home from work early. That would have all taken probably, what, 20, 25 minutes maybe? Not even that.
I'm just gonna put
Subsequently,
there,
officers approached him and took him into... Yeah, officers arrested him at 4:27.
What time, or
Police arrived 4:25.
where was this at?
Monroe Township. Hang on. Where? Ohio. Monroe, Ohio. This is Chad. Yeah, this is Chad Diamond far as it is the paranoia that the worst when you worry about something with no foundation to base it on. Yeah. That's right. I found that after I had my son, it was just, I had this horrible feeling of like dread or this horrible feeling of dread that I just couldn't get rid of in my stomach.
There's fucking 4 Monroe, Ohio's. Butler County, Greene County, Jackson County.
Oh, hang on. Let me have a look. Claremont.
Doesn't even have
It says Claremont County, Ohio. Monroe Township, Claremont County, Ohio.
How do they spell Claremont?
CLERMONT.
CLER?
Yeah, CLERMONT.
Would it be Claremont?
Wouldn't the time in Ohio be the same everywhere? Huh?
They don't have any. They have Claremontville, Ohio, but that's all they have.
Well, it's just called Claremont County. That's just what Wikipedia's got here. Monroe Township, Ohio, US. Claremont County. I guess wouldn't Ohio all be the same time zone?
It's not. It doesn't go by the time. It goes by the longitude, latitude.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. What the hell? Can't we find? Yeah, it says Claremont County. Okay, but isn't there a fucking town?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm gonna put Cincinnati. That's the closest thing I see. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like the app you've got there doesn't have like everything in it. Like, you know, we couldn't even find Helen Island there.
How do you spell Cincinnati?
Is it C-I-N-N?
C-I-N.
C-I-N-N.
Cincinnati. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I remember that show. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Ooh, the moon's at 27 degrees of Gemini. But it's conjunct Uranus, which means crazy.
Okay.
So he's just plain ass crazy. Oh, but his Pluto's at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and that's 29 Pluto's death at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and it's in his third house. So that's his thought process in the third house at 29 degrees of death. So there is something to do with the 29 degrees of being.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got, so it could
Yeah.
be 29 degrees of any planet, I guess, or I mean any sign.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to so, and they said he was walking around with a Bible mumbling, but they said he had planned this for a while. So let me see, where's Pluto at?
They say one reason that a spouse, like a parent will do this, the one reason, like there's different reasonings for why a parent will take their children's life, and one of them is because they think it would be more detrimental to their children to leave them alive afterwards. Like the children would be more mentally scarred if they left the children alive, you know, if they did something like that. Well, you know, like if they took their own, because they've planned to take their own life, they just don't want to leave the child alive to deal with it, with their parent taking their own life, if that makes sense. That's one of the reasonings parents, that's why they take their child's life. That's one of the reasonings, is they think their child will be more screwed up if they left them alive, than, which is just doesn't make, it's just horrible either way to think about it, really. I was watching this the other day. There's like 3 or 4 reasons why a parent will do this to their child.
Well, it's all psychotic. I mean, it's all just,
yeah. I mean, obviously they're not all there. Like, no sane person would just turn around and take their family out, like familicidal. It's just crazy.
Makes you wonder if something like this runs in the family, though. Because
oh yeah, well, depression does, and you know, mental illness and things do. Like, I noticed that it ran through like my grandmother, my mother, me. Like the females in the family seem to get it.
Yeah, I think females, because the hormones and shit. Especially with children, you would think it's more common with children. And you know, what if Madeline was pregnant? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, they said there was something that pushed Stephen Stearns over the edge that day. Like, there was something that there was a reasoning why he did what he did. Like, I mean,
well, yeah.
Did she either threaten to tell? Yeah. And then Jen Soto, I mean, the police were questioning her. I listened to all the interviews, and they were saying, so you knew when she was using like sanitary items, and she was like, yeah, I knew. And they were like, so did she use any in the past month? And she was like, no. And then it turned out that she told her friend who she was in cycle with, like they had their cycles at the same time, that she didn't have her last cycle. So, but I think because it's a child, 13, I think.
Yeah, see, the cops would have been questioning that shit. And they would have known. They would have done a DNA on that baby and known it was his.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to release it because it's like when it's a child case like that, it can stay sealed. Like, I don't know if they're going to release that shit.
What I meant was he probably lost it because he knew that they're going to question why a 13-year-old girl is pregnant. And then they would have ordered, the state would have ordered a blood test and they would have found out it was his.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then, and basically the mother was just turning a blind eye to it. She was letting them sleep together. She was going, I need sleep. You guys go up and sleep in the bed upstairs and I'll sleep down here. That's what she was saying. She was going, but Maddie couldn't sleep by herself. Like, she was really clingy. She needed someone to sleep with in that. And it's like, because she was absolutely mentally tormented by this freak that you had in your house. There is another case like Maddie's. Her name is Naziah Harris. Her groomer unalived her. She was 13 and pregnant. Oh, her abuser is in jail also.
Yeah.
Okay, Far. Thank you. Thanks for like researching that. There is something that tips them off to the point, like either they're going to threaten to tell someone or they're going to be outed.
Well, they said that Maddie had posted it on Twitter or something.
Oh, they went through her diary or her notebook. She'd drawn pictures of the acts she was doing on Stephen, and the acts he was doing on her. Like, it was.
See, I just can't.
She was. And the mother said she had no idea at all. And it's like, either you're really thick, you're over medicating yourself and really thick, or like you knew what was going on, but you just didn't want to accept it. But she turned around to the cops and she goes, well, I didn't want it to turn into a Woody Allen situation where my daughter steals my man. You couldn't do that to me. She said that to apparently Steve, and she goes, you can't do that to me. You can't leave me for my daughter. Like, and the cop goes, why would you say that? Like, unless you knew something.
Well, of course. I mean, come on. Anybody that listens
she got immunity,
to her,
though.
she's not that. Yeah, anybody that listens to her knows that she's not like dense. I mean, she's not stupid.
No, she's not stupid.
She knew exactly what was going on.
I think. Freak. Yeah, I think she did too. And then in another interview, it was her text messages to Stephen. She said, I can't let Maddie sleep in my bed anymore. I just can't risk it. And it's like, because they were always they were giving Maddie double doses of her sleeping medication as well. Like, they admitted to that, like dosing her up. So she was pretty much passed out. Like, were they doing things to her while she was passed out? And was he selling those photos to make money? Because he wasn't working. So was it all an income for them both? Was Madeline's mother in on the income, making the income? And then she texts him and says, I can't let Maddie sleep in my bed anymore. I can't risk it. What can't you risk? They were like, well, what can't you risk? And she goes, I can't remember. Like, she was just like basically saying she couldn't remember what that was about. Like, it was like, the interviews are so frustrating because like she just plays dumb in all of them. Naziah Harris. That name sounds really familiar too. Oh, this is disturbing, all this stuff, really, isn't it? How people can do these things. What are you doing, Sway?
Just looking at something real fast. Oh.
But yeah, you could look more into that 29 degree. I mean, it could be either way. It could be psychic visions or it could be delusional visions, you know?
Well, it would kind of go along with the way she was acting in that interview with Olivia.
Yeah.
Kind of like she didn't, like,
I
she
just
really wasn't comprehending what people were saying. Like, I don't know. Something
well,
weird.
she was rocking and yeah, she was rocking and but I just think if the police had anything, like they would have picked up on that by now. I don't know.
We're talking about Tennessee.
Yeah, well, true. Yep, we know what Tennessee's like, and they don't like to give out any information, and they don't like to do press conferences. They don't like to clear up any rumors.
I don't blame them in some aspects, because look at how the YouTubers have really screwed up these cases. But at the same time, I also think they also work with the YouTubers, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, guys, I think
it's time to go.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Time to say goodnight. Yeah.
PJ ditched out on her questions for the night.
Surprise.
Well,
nobody asked me any questions.
Yeah, MJ did. She asked how old she was.
I don't know if rocking means anything. I rock all the time, have since I was 3 months old. Yeah, it's a self-soothing thing. It's a self-soothing thing. I think rocking is self-soothing, especially when you're in a traumatic situation.
Well, if you don't normally rock, I think it would be kind of something that is like, if that's not something you do normally, and then all of a sudden after something like this happened and you start rocking, I think something's definitely not right, like that's not normal.
Yeah, I think if it's something you've always done, but then something that is really traumatic to you could cause you to rock, but
yeah, but something traumatic like that, like, again, could something traumatic like losing or your boy wandering off, or not knowing where he's at, could that cause a psychosis? Could that cause you to, like,
well, yeah, see, like, I mean, if my boy disappeared and I had no idea where he was, I would probably lose it. Like,
Well, yeah, but
like, I could easily be pushed up.
Something had to cause a psychosis for her in the 24 hours leading up to them reporting him missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, something had to have triggered it, but I wonder what. Like, does she have these episodes? Has she had these episodes before? Because something triggers a psychosis episode. Something has to.
Well, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard of anything like that that she's dealt with. So,
now,
the ex-military, military, that's not something that you're going to put out there. Like, if you're military, like.
Well, and they said that she's been with him since she was, what, 13? 12?
Who? Oh no, that's the bio father, the stepfather. They met when Sebastian was 8. But she had trauma from her past. Yeah. She was 12.
She was 12.
Yeah.
She was 12.
Well, no, they met when she was 12. I should say. They married when she was 18.
So we don't know, like, her mental, like, anything mental.
No. And I think, like, if you're sort of military minded in that, you would tend to keep that locked away. Like, you wouldn't want to talk about it if you did I don't know.
Then,
I think.
But can something just trigger you to have a psychotic moment? Like, can you just have a psychotic moment and snap out of it and, like, where you don't remember, or, like, it just, I don't know.
I'm sure there's cases of that. That's what a lot of people try and use as like defense for like when they, But if there's premeditation, that shows that it wasn't just a psychotic break, like just a,
Yeah, just a random.
If there's premeditation, yeah. So
Yeah, there
I
had
don't
to have
know,
been some
but
kind of weird, something unusual about their demeanor and their actions leading up to it. And of course, Chris isn't going to tell us. Chris ain't going to tell us if she was acting weird.
Yeah. My world feels like I am drunk if I sit still too long. My world spins. Well, Far, that's
not good, FarQ.
No, but if she rocks, then she's fine. It's just self-soothing, but
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know somebody that they have to have their feet flat on the ground at all times, like
yeah.
Like,
I know, like other people shake their foot all the time, like they might, my son does it. He's always jiggling his leg up and down. Yeah. He jiggles his leg all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And
either.
I rub my skin like if I've got like a rough patch of skin or something, I'll sit there and I'll rub it till there's pretty much no skin left, That's my self-soothing.
It's
really weird.
That's OCD. It's an OCD behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But yeah, I think it helps me switch off. Like if I'm having bad thoughts, like it helps me switch off bad thoughts and I zone out.
Where's our resident psychologist?
I don't know.
PJ.
It's your normal. Yeah, Far. Exactly. It's your normal.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just wondering, like in Sebastian's case, was there any noticeable, like if she's never had any issues before, did she up till like maybe even a few months before all this, was there any kind of different behavior, like kind of like with Chad Dorman, they said that it was a few months, he had been planning that for a few months, but then the day that this all happened, he was walking around with the Bible and mumbling to himself.
Yeah, well, we don't know everything. That's the problem, and there's certain things that they haven't released.
Well, yeah,
but
I know.
That Katie had a really traumatic childhood from her mother, right?
No.
So
I don't keep up with this case.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so Katie was abused. That's why she was taken away at such a young age, and that's how Seth met her at 12 from her. She was in a foster family. So she had a very traumatic childhood. So something like that, I mean, could trigger something. Something happened that triggered her past.
Just think about it. If she had been sexual, SA'd, and then they said that Sebastian was doing things that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah.
It may have triggered something.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think there's things that we haven't been told. Things have slipped out of Seth's mouth and things like that about Katie's past as well. And like if Sebastian was displaying some concerning behaviors or something like that, say. It might have maybe triggered Katie back to her past. I don't know. I'm just
so scared that he would turn out to be like somebody that did that to her, and she had a psychotic moment.
Well, yeah, I don't. Seth should have. Seth should have kept his mouth shut, because none of that stuff should have been out there, really. Because then nobody would be talking about it. But now you've got people still going over it, like Granny was going over it yesterday, and again, yeah, and it's like, yeah, Seth should have kept his mouth shut. Now it's out in the ether, and now it keeps getting brought back up, and we're bringing it up today. Like, I didn't really want to talk about it. Did he remind her of his father?
I have to say something, because this is really pissing me off. So
it was her mother that was abusing her father. It wasn't her father. I don't think it was her mother. But
the mother was
that's allegedly. Yes, it was the mother, not the father.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And
yes, her mother is an RS. Her mother is an RSO.
Oh fuck. Well,
yeah.
Wasn't there questions or concerns that about Chris's daughter with being left around Sebastian?
Yes, and Seth brought that out too. And everyone was going, why are you concerned? Why is Chris concerned that he doesn't want his daughter around Sebastian? And then Seth goes, well, I don't know if I can put that out here. And they were like, well,
think about this,
and then he tried to turn around and say that Chris's mother called Sebastian something, like a bad thing. And
think about
see,
this.
I don't know, like, no, did Sebastian remind her of Seth? Yeah, I don't.
I think now that you guys are talking, it kind of goes back to this chart thingy, because if you think about it, what usually happens when a child is SA'd?
Well, it increases their chance of becoming an SA themselves.
Now, how would Sebastian have learned this? How would Sebastian have learned this type of behavior if it's true?
Because Sebastian was SA'd. You know that, right? By another child.
Well, that's what we were told.
Yeah. It was all reported to the authorities and everything.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, a child that's SA'd will go on to SA somebody else. Usually their own children.
Yeah. I just don't like to go this far into it, because it's we a lot of people are taking what Seth has put out into the ether like we don't actually know.
Well, I'm just saying there's heaps of more possibilities than just the Seth situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you start actually looking at what the
dynamics of the whole, like, the family. Yeah. And then Katie's past and the fact that she was so young, and then what happened to her, and then what happened to her with Seth, and then what happened to Sebastian, and
look at the similarities between Sebastian and Maddie's case, and look at what we kind of maybe thought with Stephen, the mother's boyfriend, finding out maybe possibly if she was pregnant that he was the father, could have been the father, and you start putting this together with the stuff that you're finding out about Katie. There's some the charts are similar. So you have to also take that into consideration too. Because if secrets got out, they would have done a DNA test on if she was pregnant. They would have done a DNA test because she's too damn young.
Yeah, and I'm sure the police know a lot more.
Well, of course they do.
In
But I'm just
detail.
saying.
Like, yeah.
Because when you
Yeah.
start, I mean, because everybody's I'm not saying not to blame Seth, but what I'm saying is once you start kind of, and I read the charts, now it's kind of making more sense in what I've been reading, because I kept saying this whole time, I was like, I don't understand why this is here. Why is this here? And now with some of this other information I've been getting that you guys have told me tonight, now it's kind of starting to make a little more sense.
Yeah.
So just because people don't like Seth doesn't mean that Seth's not, or that Seth's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't like
I
Seth
get
any
it.
more than anybody else, but it doesn't mean that he's wrong.
No.
Not saying he's right, but I'm
I
not.
just, yeah. I just think it's such sensitive information and topics that it's like,
I think it should have
it's
just never
almost
been
like,
put out in public in the first place.
oh no, it never should have been. They won't release Maddie's autopsy. Yeah, no, I didn't think they would far. And because of the sensitive nature of it, and she's a child. And the same, it's the same thing with Sebastian. That's why Seth never, ever, ever should have put any of this out there. Like, because it wasn't anyone's business.
And the stuff with this stuff being put out and Seth doing it, you know who was behind that shit of having Seth put that out. Tony and them.
Well, he wasn't around then yet.
Yeah, but he was talking with the YouTubers. Seth was.
Pascal was the one fishing for that information. He was the one asking those questions. But how would Pascal know about it unless Seth had told him prior to going live?
Yeah,
Pascal was fishing for that information. Yeah, so Seth told Pascal.
Yeah, this is the same shit that freaking Cher and Benny did with Dawn and Candace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just think, like, I don't know, it sends people down all these crazy rabbit holes, and I don't think it's fair, like, for Sebastian, like, to be labeled anything. Like, and the way Seth put it out there, it was like they were labeling him, like,
well, yeah,
something
but you
bad.
guys have
And
to also, but you also have to, well, you have to go back to the Summer Wells case, because this is all, I mean, this is what the freaking YouTubers did. I mean, they turned,
they
Dawn and Candace.
Well, Pre-Garden just did it the other night. She was accusing Dawn of essaying Summer the other night, again, with no proof, no evidence, because her channel's dying and she needed some salacious content. So she just came out and basically accused Dawn of that, and then, but she had no proof, no nothing, and not one person in her chat questioned it. Not one person. Just makes me sick. Pre-Garden.
Oh,
just the other night.
Of course.
She started backing on Don, saying that he essayed Summer. I just don't.
Well,
I don't even want to talk about the subject, to be honest.
Jennifer Coffendorfer did the same thing to Dawn and them a while back.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest. Like, it really, like, it just gets too personal, like, far too personal.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand how people can sit there and listen to the crap that the police came out with Maddie Soto's case. Like, how does anybody just sit there and listen to that? Ugh.
Well, unfortunately, because in Florida, it's the Sunshine Law, everything's out in the open, so, like, it's all there. But there's all these male creators going over all her personal details and everything. It's so horrible, and it's so like,
gross. Why would anybody listen to that?
Yeah.
Why would
anybody
on their own go and even, like, if you knew that they're getting into that stuff, why would you even turn it on? I just don't understand that. That's just so gross.
Yeah, the only thing I've listened to is the interviews. I haven't listened to anything else. Like, I don't want to sit there and listen to a male creator break down her abuse. Like, yuck.
No,
I just don't want to. It's, you know, like, great, like, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, there's quite a few male creators that are going over it, and I don't mind watching the interviews.
Why would anybody want to listen to that? Ugh.
I know. I watched a little bit of Grizzly the other day, and I was just like,
yeah.
I was just like, they really have to get so in depth into it, and it's like, oh, like, it's just such a sensitive subject with minors and everything. Oh God,
even like with the freaking Chad Daybell and all that. Like, why would anybody listen to the fucking the trial and shit? Listening to that shit, like, why would anybody do that? Ugh.
Oh, I listened to the trial. I didn't listen to Laurie's, but I listened to Chad's because I wanted to know his involvement in it. Like, because he made out like he was a friggin' prophet and all this shit. Like, he was just delusional as well. Like, friggin'.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Laurie
it's
was
obvious.
crazy.
They found the 2 kids in his backyard.
Oh, he knew they were there.
Well, of course, he put them there.
Well, Alex did, but
him and Alex.
Alex was.
No, it was him and Alex. They both burned the daughter. They said that's how they found out. Because they said they had the phone pings.
Yeah. But you must have watched something to find that out. You must have watched something.
The trial. I did not watch the trial. It was on TV the day they found him. They said that the reason that they had those warrants was because they found the phone pings and it matched Chad and
the
Alex.
the geofencing. Yeah, their phones were both in that location. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's but we don't know the sequence of like what they did and how you know, like.
Well,
because Chad would never admit he pled not guilty, like, so.
Yeah, but he called
even though he was found guilty. I didn't listen to Chad's. I do watch trials though.
He called Lori to the jail and said they're in the backyard, and they knew exactly what it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's why I said they should have just shot him right then and there when they found the kids in his backyard and been done with it.
Yeah.
They never should have.
I just thought the whole conspiracy with all the religion and Alex and everything, I was more interested in that. I wasn't interested in like what they did to the children. That wasn't why I was watching the trial. That wasn't like, I was interested in the whole dynamics of what they were actually, you know, like why they did it, how they tried to cover it up. Like, why did they actually think they were going to get away with it and go to Hawaii and live happily ever after? Like, it's just delusional. They were living in a freaking Carly Greg. Oh, that's a good one. We should do that one.
Yeah. They were living in they were both cults. They were
it was out east. Yeah, but they'd branched off. They were like going into like Branch Davidians, like,
like, they had their own cult. I mean, they were going into a whole cult.
Yeah,
they tried to recruit more than.
They thought they were going to build a church and they were going to build their own temple and everything. Like, they were friggin' delulu. But that's what I was more interested in, was the whole religion and the cult thing. No, I didn't want to know what they did to the children or the autopsy or anything like that. Like, I don't even think I listened to that part of it of the trial.
When they find people like that and they bring them to trial and we know that they did it and stuff like that, you know, where it's pretty obvious like that, I lose interest. I'm like, yep, we already found out who they are. I'm not listening to it. That's just me. It's like, we already know who did it.
Carly Gregg, she did have problems and she was on a lot of medications and stuff, but they wouldn't let her use that as a defense. They tried her as an adult and gave her life.
And the reason why I think that we can probably pretty much say that she faked that was because afterwards, she went and she texted her stepfather to come home, and then she texted a friend to come and see the glory details.
Yeah. I know. But it, like, yeah, she just...
And she shot her mom, what,
She was
5
on...
times? 8 times? And she shot her like
Yeah.
3 or 4 times and then went back and shot her more. So that's somebody that knew what they were doing.
I'm just amazed. Like, this is another case where a 14-year-old gets... A 14-year-old with, like, mental health issues gets their hands on a gun. Like, why are these kids managing to get their hands on weapons and ammunition? Like, this is happening all the time. Why is it so easy for them to get their hands on a freaking gun with ammunition in it when they know that their kid's unwell, on antidepressants, having problems? Like,
Well,
this is happening all the time.
We kind of answered that back because it's genetic. So if the parents aren't well themselves, they're not going to step in and, like, they're not seeing their kids as being delusional and shit either. Like the kid that shot up that school. And they went and his dad's like, yeah, well, I gave him a gun. Yeah, okay. And, well,
yeah, and
what,
the other kid that shot up the school before that, their parents gave him a gun too.
Yeah,
and
so it's genetic. It's a mental. Like, if the parents are mental, they're not going to be like in their right minds to take care of a kid that's mental. Plus,
yeah, it didn't take her long to. She went and grabbed that gun. That gun was already loaded, far. Like, I swear to God, like she just went and grabbed it and bang bang, done. Like, she hid it behind her back. Like, and her mum, because her mum was going through her room because she found pot in her room or something like that. Like,
yeah, but
I just
shot her mom, and then she heard her gurgling and shit, and went back and shot her some more.
Yeah, but I just think that, like, I mean, over here, like, even with, we don't have semi-automatics or pistols or anything, but we have hunting rifles, but they all have to be locked up in gun safes and everything. Like, like, I don't know why weapons are in places where kids can get access to them, or they're putting them in their hands, especially kids that have got mental health issues.
But think about it, Doxy. These kids for the last 20, 25 years now, all they have been exposed to is shit on the internet. Look how screwed up the adults in the fucking true crime are. I mean, come on. These people are going in there and spending 10, 12, 15 hours a day on the internet listening to true crime.
Yeah, and then kids are playing shoot 'em up games, and then they just go and grab a real gun. And do they think they're still in the game? Like, are they thinking, because they spend so much time on these video games, are they thinking they're still playing a game? Like,
well, look,
I think
look how many people actually get in trouble in real life for doing shit like this. Like, you don't see. Okay, so people are watching Sebastian case. They're watching Summers, and nobody's getting in trouble for them being missing, right?
No.
So these kids are listening to the parents listening to this shit. Nobody's getting charged. Nobody's getting in trouble. There's no suspects. There's nobody in custody. And so these kids think they can get away with anything.
Yeah.
Hell, they don't even have to go to work, into work and shit anymore.
Kids don't understand death is non-negotiable, right? You can't just buy another life or regenerate. Like,
exactly, Far. There's no consequences.
Yeah, and there's no consequences.
And these kids now,
well, there is now, because kids are getting tried as adults and they're getting life with no parole. So, and their parents are as well. So it's making the parents think twice about putting weapons in the reach of teenagers and things.
But I bet you not. I bet you it'll still. I bet you nobody will. I don't think it'll stop them. I don't think it'll deter any of them. I mean, we still have kids going missing. It doesn't deter anybody.
Yeah, well, I just think America's got big problems.
The whole world has big problems. That's why these kids get participation fucking trophies. Because everybody has to be equal, and nobody gets in trouble for anything anymore. That's why when we were growing up, we didn't shoot up schools and shit, because we got punished. We got in trouble for shit we did wrong.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's horrible, but that's how this world's been. It's just like our freaking elections. Nobody got in trouble for what they did in 2020, so...
Yeah.
And just think, if those snipers didn't take care of that guy that tried to do that to Trump this first time, he probably would never got caught either.
Yeah.
But anyway, Far, come back on Wednesday. We're gonna do the weather and how they're messing with our weather. Conspiracy. We love conspiracy.
Weather manipulation.
That's it. Weather manipulation.
I don't know if I believe it, but
yeah,
I might look more into it before we do the live. Yes, I know you do.
Come on, think about it, you guys. The hurricane that we just had, they clocked the winds at 225 miles an hour when it hit the coast, when it actually hit land.
Yeah, I know.
Now that's ridiculous.
It's insane.
And JFK told us, Doxy. JFK said it, that they were manipulating the weather.
Okay, I didn't know that. Sorry, my brain is really... my brain's just shutting down. This has just been a lot today. I'm sorry, but I just... my head too.
Thank you, FarQ, for sticking with us.
Thanks, Far.
And I appreciate you always commenting on the community posts and my son's content, and I just really appreciate you, FarQ.
Thank you, Far. We love you. We're gonna love bomb you.
It is manipulated. FarQ said it is. So then we now have proof.
See, look, she agrees. She agrees with you.
That's right.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. My head is it feels like someone's just put a nice pick through my eye.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Time to go. All right.
Yeah.
Night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, Far. See you later. I'm not love bombing.